So the players aboard their ship, kind of flying through the wreckage, saw two things kind of happening simultaneously, or three things, I should say. Third thing, they saw the Dominion and Republic fleets that remained, and most of those were just scattered ships, were being rapidly hunted down by Vong search parties and kind of raiding crews with coral skippers, these asteroid-like vehicles kind of darting through the chaos, just burning down what remained. But they saw two different people that could utilize their help. They saw the refugee fleet who Geert met on his way kind of throughout the streets of Vela City. And saw that their ships were trying to make their way and jump to hyperspace, but were being assailed by coral skippers and just being burnt down by the invading Yuzon Vong forces. But they also saw on the opposite end of what was once Vela, a small Republic command shuttle making its way out of the planet and also under siege by the coral skippers and invading Vogue. Even with the communications being a little bit kind of testy or dirty, uh, who was that? Caesar actually was able to establish a connection to the General Vet, who they found was on board the Republic command shuttle ship. And after a little bit of discussion, the group decided to save the general and unfortunately leave the refugees to their fate. So after that, the crew kind of raced through with Geert piloting through the wreckage of Vela, maneuvering around the asteroids, these pieces of city that have been blown into space, mountainsides, just all of the pieces of what once was Vela, just cluttering the spaceways, and made their way to General Vet and Master Kalu's side, and were able to battle some of the Yuzon Vong forces, fighting off their coral skippers and some of their larger ships, until the group was able to latch on to the Vong, or not to the Vong ship, onto General Vet's ship right before a Vong war cruiser jumped into system with a quick micro jump. And started to rain havoc, as well as unleashing one of their devices named the Group Gruchen. And I'm not sure if that's how it's pronounced. I've never heard it out loud, but I mean, we're gonna call it Gruchen now. It's got a little Swedish flavor to it. It's got, uh, but as the group was about to depart, they got hit by that barrage of plasma. The Gruchen, who latched onto the ship, but fortunately, Talos was able to complete the computations and get both the command shuttle and the player ship into hyperspace, where all seemed well for just a little bit, until who noticed that? Was that, I think that was Vars that noticed the Gruchens on the other ship, wasn't it? I think so. So until Vars noticed the Gruchen on the command shuttle that were kind of burning their way through the hull, and kind of opened a line to the general and found out that they had Gruchen on their shuttle. But fortunately, due to the help of a bit of drugs, Talos was able to snort up and come up with a way to electrify the hull and burn them off the ship.
Okay.
You've seen it a little bit, just a little tiny.
Oh, I ain't muted.
And then,
just a small pump.
Just a small. But after taking a good hit,
I'm not addicted. I can quit.
Anytime, yeah. It was a stressful day. You saw a planet blow up. But after that, you were able to clear the ship, and the Republic troopers on the General Vet. Actually, you cleared them off both ship. I forgot about that because you got a pretty high authority, I think. So you cleared the electric ran through both ships, clearing off the hulls. And the rest of the remaining hyperspace journey was pretty uneventful. You guys made your way to Bespin, who Geert argued for pretty heavily on that side, which is a pretty nice port, though, for the crew, because it represents, it's in the Republic space, so a good spot to drop General Vet off. But it also has, due to the mining of Debana gas, a pretty heavy Zerka presence, as well as gambling, casinos, cantinas, just all the vices that would attract some and have probably a little bit of a shady or more criminal enterprise as well. So you guys made your way there, and while during that hyperspace journey too, you were able to heal the Mandalorians, including Turk, who had been infected with the coral implant, removing the coral, with Turk kind of giving him a pretty good bill of health. With the other Mandalorian, unfortunately, she would need some kind of PT, a little bit more time in back to tanks being monitored. But you were able to save their lives, not only save their lives, give them back their freedom. Once on the planet, you were able to meet with General Vet and Master Kalu, who General Vet still does not seem pleased to see you all or see Caesar and Dash, but he definitely begrudgingly thanked you guys for getting them off planet, as well as opened up the Republic's coffers, giving you guys a pretty nice payday and upgrading the ship. After that, and we're going to kind of go through what everybody did during their downtime. You guys got a little bit of just peace and R&R and a little chance to recharge your batteries after all the craziness that took place, and got to pursue your own interest. So that's what we're going to do is we'll go through, and I know most of you guys, we've resolved them. There's a few we still have to resolve. We'll kind of go through and resolve what happened to everybody during their week off. So what's order on the screen? Talus, we'll have you go up first. So what did Talus do during his R&R?
All right. So as soon as we got into hyperspace and we kind of dealt with the things crawling on the ship and got rid of those, Talus ends up crashing horribly after the drugs. And now he's spent the time traveling to Bespin, just kind of trying to do his damnness to stay occupied and focused. So he did his best to craft some med packs, which came out just fine for the most part, and then a few other small things that might give the rest of the guys who he's pretty sure that he hasn't seen the last of them, even though we're going to a planet. But considering the threat and the thing that they've kind of witnessed together, he's definitely fine with hanging out with them a little bit longer. But he wants to keep them safe, and so he's crafted a couple of things to give them an edge. Thinking more specifically about some of the frontline people that were trying to keep the enemies away from him and doing any damage to him. So he kind of feels that he owes them a small debt of gratitude for sure. And do we need to speak to Bespin, the time that we spent on Bespin, or?
Oh yeah, that too.
Okay. And then when we get to Bespin, following the conversation with the general and everything, he's kind of spent the downtime there. A lot of it spent on the ship, kind of micromanaging what the other Republic engineers are doing, especially with the laboratory, and making sure that everything is perfect with the installments for that. He also assisted them with upgrading Jarvis. So Jarvis has gotten an upgrade now, pretty significant upgrade, I'd say. And then in kind of the quiet hours of the night, we'll say that he went out and he we'll just say it was a gateway drug, and now he might be going down a rabbit hole. So he's got some more. Don't worry, only in extreme circumstances. But that's him. And he would have been happy to have joined anybody that would have wanted him to come along. Maybe have gotten a few drinks at the cantina. Maybe have gone around. He didn't make any big purchases. He's kind of down on the funds at the moment. But yeah, and he got a message from Director Jin, head of Zerka operations here on Bespin, and he got an offer a proposal from them to kind of undertake a mission.
And we'll go into the mission a little bit later, but
Right.
Definitely good on that side. It
He's
already
definitely gonna talk to the others about it.
perfect. All right. Who's next on my screen? Vars, you're up next. What did Vars do during his time off?
Well, seeing himself in close quarters and with nowhere to go for the length of the travel time that it took to get to Bespin, Vars saw an opportunity because he had never spent that much time next to anybody that's ever wielded a lightsaber before. He had an old trophy from back when the schism between the Dominion and the Mandalorians happened. And he's messed with it here and there, but he's never been confident using it. So he approached Geert, and Geert seemed to be receptive to the idea of a little bit of training in exchange for some favor down the line. Didn't matter. Vars was just excited at the chance of, getting a chance to proficiently wield this mighty weapon that maybe other Mandalorians might look down on him on, but he was just excited. It's a laser sword.
Who doesn't want the very own lightsaber?
Yeah, right. And well, a little bit more confident into this use. Once he made it to Bespin, he wasn't sure what to do with his damaged companions. He did know that he was down a lot of stuff after having his ship and all of his belongings and everything just kind of go up in smoke, and literally and figuratively, I guess. Just so he tried his best to rebuild his arsenal, get some interesting things back into his arsenal, like grappling hook, maglock boots, fun stuff. And kind of feeling it out, not sure what to do next. He's a little aimless right now.
Perfect. And one actually, I almost forgot this for Talus. You got 2 research things. So, kind of mention what were you researching during that time frame for the Vong?
Muted.
You're muted.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that. So I would have definitely done some deep dive research into all the holo recordings from everything that we saw from beginning to end on Velia multiple times. So whoever was holo recording, I got copies of it all, and I just kind of going over all of it and taking notes, writing things down, and just searching Zerka files and things like that. Just kind of trying to find everything that I can, specifically towards tech and biotech that could do the things that we saw. These creatures and these individuals do. So a staff that comes to life, or like bioweapons and all the stuff that they were doing, creating black holes and things like that. So
Perfect. So you got 2 pieces of research. So I'm gonna give you one pretty practical and one that's not so practical. The one that's pretty practical, looking through both the ship's footage as well as your own head cam footage on the battle between the ships when you guys shot at those coral skippers and some of the bigger ones. You saw those black holes produce, as well as when you were fighting the Thrall herder, the big beetle-like creature that was able to produce those black holes. You guys and Dash discovered a little bit of this on his own, but you look through and you notice that they pop up. Those black holes appear no matter how strong the attack looks, and that you can kind of trip it up a little bit by doing something that just sprays an area and makes it kind of pop up, or using a rapid strike. By making that, it can trip up the black hole and make it so it can't pop up in the right spot to defend from a blaster shot. Or by kind of creating something that's going to be a large enough area of effect. Sometimes it'll trip it up and make it difficult for it as well. And the other thing you learn too, that if you wanted to, you could kind of vary the degrees on your ships of the power rating for the power, or kind of like the strength of the laser. Use a bonus action to shoot a kind of a weaker one, and then a regular action to shoot a slightly weaker attack as well too. But it should, because you've noticed they can only do it once for so long, and that may be able to break through their defenses. And I'll throw that in our chat too, just so you guys have that for later. The other thing
Okay.
you notice too, and this is something that you probably kind of had a hunch towards, but seeing it out with the data, it just varied. You've got a couple of different pieces of your coral, the beetles, just different technology or different biology that they've got, and you see that they are kind of the genetic code for them is just very uniform. Even the different pieces of not technology, even the different life forms that they utilize that you're able to get a sample of, all have like almost this very similar base code that's just tweaked slightly for their function. You've seen even like within similar kind of planets with like looking at different genomes of species and things like that. They're usually very different. With these, let's say almost say they have the same base and are just altered for function, which is a little bit different than you've seen kind of for just how natural life progress. You'd probably surmise that their society for some time has been pretty heavily, at least for their creatures and the things that they use for tech, been pretty heavily genetically modified and cultured.
A lot.
Perfect. So that's kind of what you pick up during your research there. And then, Vars, what else did you do for downtime? Did I forget anything for you outside of your downtime? Did we go through all yours?
I mean, there was the what do I do with Turk and Ona?
Oh,
Not sure
yes.
what to do with them.
Yeah. Yeah, so after you reach out to kind of your contact who's been keeping you up with Mandalore and also feeding you different missions and things to do for the mercenary crew as you guys went about the galaxy, after kind of responding, giving you your mission and reach back out for kind of what to do with Turk and excuse me, Ona, you get a message back, kind of that same means, and goes, keep them on Bespin. We've got some contacts out there. We'll make sure one of our people pick them up. Kirk, we'll probably put back on the field in another function. Anna, we'll make sure we get her back home and give her the rest she needs.
Okay, understood. Okay.
Perfect. So Caesar, you're next. So how did this would be kind of a fun one to actually get to act out? So how did Caesar spend his time on the ship and then on Bespin? Bespin, not Bespin.
So more minor, before we get to the major thing, more minor things he'd probably be doing on the ship. Probably consoling Des a time or two, being good to the staff, having it nice and pampered, basically pestering everyone to keep their teeth clean, and maybe starting up his old collection again of toothbrushes and dental equipment. But that's like bits, like joke bits. The big major thing he's doing is the general. Remind me of the general's name again. Sorry.
Vet.
Vec. Yeah, he is trying to get on the same page as him. Make sure that they're both working for the same goals. There is no reason why, on the same side, that two sides need to be opposing like this, especially with the Republic and the ideals they kind of push out. Where the Dominion is a lot of meritocracy, you will occasionally get sometimes where you got to step over some people, if they're not pulling their weight. In the Republic, it's a bit more, or at least how Caesar's seen it, a bit more uniform. And as such, he wants to be on the good side of the general, especially after the cough cough suicide mission cough cough planet exploding. And unfortunately, he's a certain kind of person. He is a very infamous person. How do you think it would have gone, Caesar first reaching out to him, like a parlay, like why I want to know because we're both on the same side, to start anew, why do you hate me? This parlay of that. Why do you hate me?
So you see General Vet on the hollow screen with as you guys are hurtling through hyperspace, and you see just a pretty, like he didn't look pleased when the conversation started, and you see that he's got a pretty he's got that blank military face, but you can see he's restraining, rolling his eyes right now, and he goes, "Command said I had to take you in. They said you're a high value coming from the Dominion." You kind of see him look kind of at kind of the way or the ornaments, I'll say, that that Caesar has taken from the battles with the Vogue. And he goes, "I know you're rep with the Dominion. You like trophies." And you can see him wave to the heads and goes, "You carry around fallen enemies' heads. That's not the Republic. Command thinks you're high value. Command thinks it's good morale to bring the Butcher of the Rim and convert him to a Republic soldier. Who am I to disagree with Command? But to me, you're not Republic. You're not true Grand Army material. You're just a Sith wannabe who's made your way onto our side for who knows what reason."
That probably earned a chuckle from Caesar. He would take it seriously, but he would also kind of laugh at that statement. And probably wouldn't go too well him saying, "If you don't believe I'm part Republic material, then help me become Republic material."
As you say that, you see him kind of his face, just a tug of his cheeks to a frown, but he keeps that kind of stern, blank military expression, and he goes, "You helped us out of a bind. I'll give you that. You made it off planet for the Force knows what reason. You keep pulling off voodoo like this, maybe we'll have a place for you in the Republic. But until then, I'm expecting the vibro knife in the back, if you know what I mean."
I have nothing to worry about. That came out a lot more Stitch-like than I intended it to. Forgot to practice those. But yeah, Caesar just you have nothing to worry about when it comes to backstabbery.
He goes, "If you say so. But I will say, we owe you our lives, you and the crew. So you did something halfway right, I'll say. You and Dash."
The mention of Dash would probably help make Caesar stay. Having someone who needs to be recognized in the Republic for their deeds be recognized. Because he's got a lot of respect for Dash. And for Bespin, what he'd be doing there, he'd be trying to get in contact with some people who may or may not have some Mando technology. He would be looking for a specific kind of item. The reverse engineered, I always try and say crush for some reason, the reverse engineered crush guns. And turns out he don't got the money for it.
You look through Bespin, but you know that Mandalorian tech, even kind of fake Mandalorian tech or off-brand Mandalorian tech, is hard to find. You kind of do find two buyers. One who wants you to pay 18,000 credits for it. The other guy was kind of a back alley. You see, he's kind of a Ren. He's got a gray mustache and just kind of a real shifty looking appearance. And he said, "Hey, I'll break it off to you." I forgot how much it was. I think it was $9,000 credits for it.
Just about.
And he's like, "Yeah, give me 9,000 credits. Yeah, you can take this. You can take this." You got a real shifty look, kind of looking back and forth, like he's waiting for law enforcement to be on him any moment.
Does it look like that those pairs even works?
He's being shifty with how he's showing it to you. Like he's opening the box, holding and closing it real quick. He's not letting you touch him at all. He goes, "Yeah, you gotta keep the merchandise safe. You know. You gonna buy? You gonna buy?"
He probably wouldn't. He'd tell him that he might have someone else pick him up for him another time, and that he'd stay in contact. And knowing that he doesn't have enough money, he'd go to bars tell him what he was trying to do. Caesar trying to give you a gift, something Mandalorian, or at least close to it. Since a lot of Var's allies fell, Caesar kind of knows how that is with losing a lot of his men in the past, and you helped him out in buying. You helped Dash out. You helped everyone out, and helped push this ship beyond its normal means to keep us alive, keep the general alive, and he wanted to do something good for you. And while he wasn't able to afford it, he will give you 1,000 credits, which is about a tenth of what it cost, as a kind of like recompense, as well as the information on where to find the shady guy.
Oh, Vars, you may be
I
on
can't
mute
hear
if you're
you.
talking.
Yeah, I missed a button. Sorry about that.
No worries.
So Vars will look at the credits, look at the, back up at the very generous and odd Gungan. Who does he still have those heads hanging off of his belt?
He'd probably be in his casual clothes, which his casual clothes are bell-bottom jeans, tie-dye shirt, and arm warmers, and occasionally a hat.
Okay. He's going to look at the very strangely dressed Gungan, look down at the credits and say, while I appreciate the sentiment, I can't take this. This was an effort between all of us. I think we all helped each other. You all helped me avenging what happened to the rest of my squad. And while the sentiment is appreciated, I'll have to decline.
Are you certain? You said
Well,
do look down for cash.
Yeah, well, lost a lot on that planet. I mean, not just personnel, but arms as well. Sure, I guess I will take this. Yeah, you don't have to twist my arm too much. And he'll look at the credits and like, all right, well, I guess I'll figure it out. I don't know. This is more than I had before. Yeah, because Vars is drained. Vars is like, oh, great money. It's like, like an 18-year-old that just signed up with the NFL. Buy everything. Yeah, so he is grateful.
Anything minor, Caesar probably go to a few bars. He needs a drink, but he wouldn't really take up anyone else's time with that.
Perfect. I'm going to throw an inspiration point in there, too. I did not know you were buying the Crush Gauntlets for Vars. That's cool. Or trying to buy the Crush Gauntlets for Vars.
Keyword, trying.
Why? The effort was there.
Caesar rewards the people who help him, people he sees as some of his boys.
All right. Geert, you're next on the list. What's Geert doing during
all right.
his down?
So I player me wasn't aware that we we forgot we had downtime on the ship. But Geert, I think given what happened, I think he went down like twice, maybe 3 times, and he was stabbed a bunch. He was hit in the head with a rock. Like it was a lot to take in. So he was just nursing wounded pride in his wounds, and mostly just taking stock of the ship. Like he really, when he saw the ship, it was one thing, but then when he was inside the ship, flying it, he might stake a claim to this ship at some point, but he wants to make sure he knows where everything goes and what it's doing and get a good look for the ship and how to
Got to get through Jarvis first.
Yeah, well, one thing at a time. We'll deal with it. We'll become friends. But he just slowly just kind of making his way with the ship and getting to know people a little bit more, but still keeping everyone at arm's length like he always does. And of course, when Vars comes and asks him to help him with the light foil, he's more than eager to show him. And he he gets a little fancy with it and starts showing off all the things. Because of all the things that he trained in, it's one of the few things he actually paid attention to when he was studying at the Jedi Academy. Because he liked the weapons, but he just didn't get it to try everything. And so he's showing Vars all the fancy moves and flitting around, jumping off the walls and throwing it back and forth and catching it. And mostly just wanted to convey to Vars that no matter what you do, you turn that thing on the battlefield and you're a target. So do not use it unless you have to, and be ready when you do use it, because everyone will want a piece of your shit. That's just the nature of the Jedi. You activate that on the battlefield, you make yourself a target whether you want to or not, and you will have some action coming your way. It's a lifetime of experience. Can't really be conveyed in a sentence, but he tries to emphasize that as much as he can, but also thinks he's capable. Like, he's a Mandalorian. I mean, if anybody could turn a lightsaber on and use it and face down whatever comes their way, it's probably a Mandalorian.
Mars will just reply with, "Good."
Well, all right.
Send him your way.
Well, all right. I'll let you take lead then. I don't want them coming after me. I can't handle it. That's why I run away.
That'll be 5,000 credits for the training.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, Caesar.
Or a favor for later. I mean, I scratch your back, you scratch mine.
Or
Maybe
scratch
I
somebody
need-
else's for you.
Maybe I need some muscle on something. Maybe I need you to protect me from someone. I don't know. Who knows?
Hey, that's
Big
fine.
galaxy,
I
big
just-
place.
Lots of opportunities.
Exactly. Now, leading into that next part, Geert went carousing, or not carousing. He went drinking in all the cantinas, looking for a mark, someone to just anything he could pick up and grift on. He was gonna go for it because he doesn't tend to. He doesn't tend to put down roots, and he spends credits as fast as he gets them. He goes from place to place, and so anytime he's somewhere, he needs to look for a score of some sort. And so in a cantina, he overhears two brothers who are talking about troubles they're having with someone. He doesn't know, but he knows where they're keeping their credits because he overheard them tell that part. And so he follows them out of the out of the cantina and turns himself invisible with the Force and just sneaks into their shop, waits for them to close up, hides himself on a utility shelf in the back, and then slips down and steals the credits. And then while he's busy enjoying the fruits of his labor, drinking, he is given a drink by an incredibly attractive woman who he doesn't know why she's looking at him, because they don't look at him usually. But he accepted her advances and went up to find her at the bar and was left with a note that said, "We know what you did and we will be in contact." At which point his stomach fell out from him, and he like that weightless feeling you get in the pit of your stomach, and he just he's like, "All right, no good deed goes unpunished, huh?"
And I'm gonna have fun with that one in the future. I'm gonna have
I know.
fun.
I'm like, oh, all right, but what he decides is that maybe I've been spending too much time out in public. Yeah, I think I have. And so what he does the last few days is goes and gathers his supplies, things he thinks he might need, and then he finds in a display window like those novelty. Do you ever see those novelty things at the dollar store with like the fake mustaches and like that cheapo Halloween like costume kits?
The Groucho Marx bit.
Yeah, exactly. But he finds something like that looks a little like decent, halfway decent. Like it could actually pass for, at a distance, it could pass for a good disguise. And he just gets one of those like fake mustaches. Just And then, but in amongst those, there's this little like kind of do-it-yourself stationary kit, which he remembers from his time working as a spy for the Republic, however brief that was. That these have a lot more uses than the average person might think, and he's going to take those and put maybe commit some forgeries. Who knows? Doesn't know what he's gonna need. Letters of what are those called? Where you get into a port, like a letter of
Entry?
like a letter of writ or so. Yeah, one of those things where you get passage because you have the I have the stamp of the king on this kind of a thing. And then he also sees in one of the shops this big contraption that he remembers from his time with an old friend, having a lot of good time with, and he decides to bring it back and surprise the rest of the crew with this giant contraption that he found. And with all that, he just kind of bundles it all up and drags it back to the ship where he hopes to hide out so that this person who tracked him can't possibly track him or keep tabs on him. But he's going to the ship for shelter, and hopefully Talus is accepting.
What is the contraption? I'm curious.
Well, it depends. If Talus is there, he'll see it.
Yeah, Talos is working with
Oh,
the ship crew.
Yeah, so I would be between my upgrades to while I'm working on Jarvis and everything. I would be micromanaging the crap of the other crews. But yeah, like it's hard to miss anybody coming onto the craft. Uh,
So you see
What it-
him just kind of across the hangar dragging this thing as it slowly, like it's creaking across the floor because it's pretty heavy. And he's just kind of
and I'm just
dragging
like,
it.
oh god.
Hey, look, there's. I don't got time to explain exactly right now, but can I maybe put some stuff on the ship and not leave for a while? Just, you know, just for a bit. But hold on. He's gonna rustle in and he's gonna grab the 1,400 credits that would go into that upgrade. And he's just, how about 1,400? What do you say?
Sold. You got a room. Yeah, and then I'm like, and then I immediately, like, after taking the credits from you, I'm immediately already like chewing out another Republic, like private that's like low grade engineer, doesn't know what the hell he's doing. He's supposed to be using a wrench, but he's using a screwdriver to turn something. It's like, bro.
Right tool for the right job, damn it. But as you see him scraping it up, he's like, oh, by the way, how full is your chemistry lab? I got something I maybe want to set up in there. You're gonna love it. I promise.
The laboratory, there is plenty of room in there. You can, when you walk
Perfect.
in,
Say no more. He's gonna take it and haul it back.
Okay.
And he goes back there and he sets it up, and it's a brewing kit, a brewing station, because as Geert explains, he's like, well, I tend to get kicked out of these things a lot, cantinas and bars. So I always thought, why not make my own? Go where everybody, not knows your name, but wants you there.
Or they just can't kick you out.
Can't kick me out. Or at least, well, this one's in
You
fight.
can't go there, bring it to you. Huh?
Exactly. Plus, I
That's
happen to notice your habit.
Hey. Let's
Got
let's keep
my
that
own problems, man. Got my own problems. But
There's enough rumors out there about me. Nobody needs to confirm them.
well, either way,
It was an emergency.
get yourself hooked on this stuff, because this stuff can be made on your ship. That other stuff costs money. Hard to argue with that logic.
I see this lavatory literally turning into Breaking Bad.
I feel like as the campaign goes on, you
Doing?
guys are like the invasion's going to go on in the background, and you guys will be running your new brewing drug empire.
The hell with the
Jesus
bar.
Christ,
We need to
here I
cook.
Get those
Jesus'
fucking
exact
bases
reaction
drunk.
to that. I'll drink to that.
Get their ships drunk, and then they won't be able to fly straight. Take the fight to them.
Start hurling booze at the ball.
Fuck on this. Look, what is this? It's a White Russian. Screw you.
Have a drink and chill out.
Would that count as biological warfare?
Alcohol's an
maybe.
organic compound.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, they've started the biological warfare, but I guess that would
Yeah.
count. I guess.
Toss in some
Everywhere is
antifreeze and
biological warfare. Wrong.
Oh,
That's
who
what he
knows?
did for his downtime. He went around buying stuff and tried his hand at crime. Did not. I mean, it worked, but it didn't pan out the way he thought it would. And he made a new friend, and now he's hiding.
You got a secret admirer. I gotta say.
For my thing you sent me, Tegan, is that Cantina on Bespin, or is that on the other planet?
Oh, that's on Bespin. Yeah,
That is on Bespin. Okay.
perfect.
And so he would have told the others, like, "Hey, I got a friend I might want to meet up with at Cantina. Might have a job, not sure, but if you're hurting for credits, I'm sure they wouldn't mind any extra help. You know, let more hands make less work, as they say."
Perfect. And we'll wrap up with Dash before we kind of go over what the crew's doing next. So, Dash, how did you spend your time on the ship and then your time on Bespin?
Yeah, so after all the events on the ship, Dash really was trying to piece together what had happened on the planet and how they were able to pull that off. That it just didn't make sense to him. He's worked with a lot of really explosive materials, and he's worked on mining planets, and for them to be able to do that just didn't click. So he tried to figure that out. So he gathered what material he could and what data he could, and tried to piece that puzzle together. Unfortunately, didn't have any luck. So he landed on the planet, and I'm going to ad lib a little bit here. I hope that's okay. Using my kind of background feature, he met up with an old Koaz buddy that goes by Kajami Switru, and we call him Cad. Also, he lives on Bespin now, though he's from Ord Mantell. So a fellow friend that he grew up with kind of crashed with him, and then got in touch with his old CO, Trangic Kazvar, Commander Kazvar. And he passed along all the info and the data he had gathered in hopes that he'd be able to help him out and maybe work with him to kind of figure out what had happened with that. And I had rolled for that, but I didn't see the outcome. I had rolled actually really high.
You did.
But I was,
Go ahead.
yeah, so I was just kind of hoping that my old CO he knew this stuff a little bit better than me. He's the one that taught me everything I know, and that he'd be able to fit all the pieces together.
Oh, definitely. So, Commander Kasvar, it kind of takes both you guys going through the week as you guys piece through the data and some of the readings that you got from the planet. But you are able to eventually figure out exactly what happened. So you've probably had access to, I'm sure Vars or Talos would lend you some of their video as well. So you can see what took place, or kind of you can take a look at the Dovin Basel. You guys would know the name, but that large, spongy, huge football-shaped thing that was in the room with Vars. And between kind of that, the data you got from scanning the planet, as well as just kind of your own kind of what you recalled as it took place between the explosion, you learned two things. You learned that spongy-looking thing, just kind of from different readings you guys got from the ships and just kind of encountering with them, was able to generate a gravitic field. And was able to use that to latch on to the core of the planet and kind of shift the planet. So some of that was done gradually at first, but you kind of look through some of like the old HoloNet data just for the historical, for going over like the shakes on Vela that have been going on for like the last, I think, 3 weeks, I said. And you saw it kind of getting gradually worse and worse until the day you guys came where it almost seemed like it was exponential. And you learned that they used that device to shift the core, just bring it off center, which in a normal world would probably be devastating too. But in a world like Bespin, that's just chock full of Tibanna gas and the components for Beridium, basically made it into a bomb. And you see that they kind of intentionally used it to set it off. It kind of did it in a way that would make the largest explosion, and probably what from you gathered, just to make sure that you could take out as much of both the Dominion and Republic fleet with the explosion before bringing their own warships in. So you learn that, but you also learned another piece with that too, because you guys went over kind of the data pretty extensively, and you know to even just shift a core takes quite a bit of energy. No matter if it's an organic being or a machine, whatever, it takes quite a bit to move a core like that. And you kind of look through it and just kind of looking at some of the data that they have with the other ships, like even that warship that came in at the end. That was something that even the warship didn't have quite that much power with its Dovin bases that it was using to move itself and capture, create black holes. You'd probably, in kind of with Kazvar's help, you able to come to the conclusion that that's probably something that's expensive for them. You're not sure if it costs them money or resources. It takes quite a while to grow or is difficult to grow. But something that's able to generate that much energy and not on one of their capital warships is probably not something they can bring out every day.
Good news.
All right, nice. And yeah, I would share that with the crew, especially Talus for sure.
Perfect. You guys were able to kind of get that rest, kind of a little bit of rest, pursue your own interest, and kind of take in the hospitality of Bespin. And actually, so where did you guys have a kind of set meetup time, or what's the crew as a whole doing next?
Caesar probably invited everybody to a bar to
you
get
may
a
be
drink
on mute,
and talk
Barry.
over. Oh wait.
Hmm?
Hello.
I hear him.
Is it working now?
Yeah.
Yep, loud and clear.
Oh, weird.
Do you?
I do not hear him.
Oh no.
Ooh.
Oh, I can hear you now. Okay.
Oh,
Hey, there you are.
Oh.
Okay, so Caesar would probably just invite, like one day, probably at the end of these 5 days, invite everybody out for a drink to kind of talk about what's next. Because it's a bit of an elephant in the room, because we all were in this life and death situation together, but we're all from all these different places and factions. He barely knows what Gert does. So he wants to kind of see where everyone wants to go from here. You can tell Caesar actually would probably enjoy sticking with you guys and would invite you to a bar. You'd probably be in the civilian clothes, so like I said, bell bomb jeans, tie-dyed shirt, and arm warmers. Those big like arm sleeves that we see some Gungans wear, and yeah, probably buy a round for everyone too. Almost celebratory. We survived.
You don't gotta tell Garrett twice. Drinks he don't have to pay for.
Vars would outfit Turk and Ona with some weaponry from his own kit, the extra blaster rifle that he had crafted, and his old one, opting instead for using a heavy blaster pistol and shield. Seeing himself likely gonna go up against the Vong in close quarters once again, he thinks that this might be a more tactical approach. It's a new enemy, new way to do things. And he'll pass on the information that he got from his contacts and opt to see what the Gungan has in mind at the bar. And let's see.
Yeah, so Dash would kind of disappear for a few days, and then he would show back up at the ship, and he'd be with like a hover cart and carrying these big crates, and on the crates it just has like all these labels of like extremely dangerous, fragile, do not, it will explode signs all over it, and he would just like push it into the ship, and she'd be like, "Hey, yeah, can I park this in my room?" And he'd be like, "All right, great," and then he would just take like all these explosive materials for making bombs and stuff, and just stack them up under his bunk bed. And then just be like, yeah, he'd hear about the meetup at the cantina, And she was like, "Oh, great, yeah, I'll meet up with the commander and head on out."
Well, we'll assume that was during a rare moment that Talus finally decided to take care of himself and was in the refresher station. But all you hear while you're like coming up would be Jarvis going, "Dr. Dici, Dr. Dici, Dr. Dici." Just, but yeah, I would accept our token Gungan's invitation because I too have some information to share with y'all.
And Caesar, would you pick what type of establishment would Caesar pick? Is he going to pick like a low rent type place? Is he going more highbrow? And I'm going to give you a run through of. There's definitely a couple different cantinas you could make your way to on Bespin. They're kind of a little bit of a resort planet as well outside of the mining on Cloud City. So there's cantinas, different places you can play sabacc. It's definitely a place you can find some entertainment. But you definitely find 3 different cantinas you can kind of go to for a good drink. If you want to go where the floor is a little bit sticky and the drinks are damn near free, you can go to the Wasted Weequay Cantina. It's got like a drunken Weequay who's kind of just like there are like hollow advertisements, like a drunken Weequay who's just kind of like just standing and swaying in place. And you know that's pretty much anything goes. If you leave a body, make sure you put a good tip on the floor, and then people will leave you alone. So you have the Wasted Weequay, kind of on the low end of the spectrum. For the average tourist, you've got the Tipsy Tauntaun, which is it's one of those ones that's pretty busy. People going in and out of it. It's one where you can kind of slip in, get a drink, and probably not draw too much attention and get an average meal, an average drink. Nothing too noteworthy about it. It's kind of a bit of a tourist trap if you've seen it before. Now, if you want to go highbrow, though, they do have the Toast of the Republic, which is a place where you all may not even all get in, but they do have some pretty nice drinks, great food, and some nice ambiance overlooking the clouds.
May I throw in an alternative?
All right, sure.
Caesar likes a bit of privacy whenever he's doing things, and as such, there needs to be something else going on to distract most people from the conversation the group would have. Plus, he has a specific taste in music. Could he take them to a rave bar? like loud music, bright flashing lights, people on the dance floor, just them off in the corner at the table sharing the drink.
For sure. Oh yeah, you guys could go to be a good one for that. The Zoltry Zabrak, and be able to go to where it's kind of a banging music. You got like a Zabrak with the crazy horns as their hollow advertisement. Definitely, it's one you can barely hear each other. How loud it is, so definitely something that people wouldn't be able to overhear you unless you're using a megaphone.
Yeah, this is probably where he's been going whenever he's gotten a drink throughout the week. Yeah, you take him there.
Perfect. Well, you guys walk into the cantina, and actually, as you guys walk into the Zabrak, you see like the bouncer kind of give you a double take as you approach. You see him look at you, look back. You see him start looking at his data pad.
I'm not him. I've gotten that 5 times on this damn planet. I'm not him. What is with this? Who is this guy? And why am I kicked out of every bar on this planet? He's completely deceptive. He knows it's him on there, and he's just trying to play it off.
Give me a deception roll.
Okay. You said deception?
Deception.
It's not him. Wasn't me. Wasn't me.
You see him kind of start going, "You're not who?" And he kind of looks back up. I guess. Just go in. Just go to Griffin.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate it. You've been Gentleman and his collar. It'll just puff up the collar and walk quickly.
And you hear him just grunt.
That was good, right? Because that guy was me. Just pretend like we don't. Like, where'd you take us to, Caesar? Like, where is this place? I don't remember this bar, but apparently I've been here before.
So
Caesar would give you a look of like, I don't remember this place, but I've been here before. Like him giving you the look of, that's the point. That's the exact point of this place.
Perfect. Well, you guys.
so
Go ahead.
so Vars is gonna just like kind of like yell because it's that damn loud in there and say, "So why exactly? Because it's what?"
Stop shouting.
It's allowed. You are going to overhear us. Plus,
What's allowed?
the music is what the youth would call banger.
I don't know anybody like that.
Oh my god.
Using a sound trick, Geert's gonna maximize the sound of his voice and shout at Vars. He's saying, he just repeats what he just said. Shout it right in his ear.
It's what the youth would call banger.
Oh, hold on. He's
It's
gonna
a
just
sound tactic. It's just probably not gonna work in our favor the entire time. Gonna have to shout something.
okay.
Let's find a table.
You guys are
He'll take
definitely
it to his usual spot.
you're definitely able to find a table in the back of the bar. Able to order some drinks if you'd like while you're discussing what's next for the crew.
Caesar would instantly start going. So, I would assume that each of you have been perusing the Hollow Net of late. You have seen what has been going through, yes?
No. What's happened? Other than, what happened with us. Something new? I'm sorry, I don't really pay attention to this kind of stuff. I'm usually working.
Well, the Crusaders have been causing a bit of a stir. The Republic's put a bounty on them. Could be a new job for us, as well as to be expected. Politics are running wild. It's not so much of a surprise. The Minion saying the Republic's done this, the Republic saying that the Minion's done that, and now we have the General going to Coruscant to clear things up, get an eyewitness review of what happened at that poor mining planet that's now an asteroid belt. And Lisa, there she has given information from the dear General, and he has given us a bit of a task. Check out the colony, a milk run. Well, as much as a milk run as this last job was. Lisa, check this out. Go in, go out. A colony that they've lost contact with. If you ask me, I believe it may be these new invaders, or simply the Dominion trying out some new tactics.
Wait, which colony?
Check out your face.
It's the
Saijo, I believe.
Saijo.
Is that anywhere near where Vela was?
Not too far off. So let me ping it for you on the map. So it is in Republic space. So I'm pinging it by there.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
kind of where
It
we
is
came
like
from.
the next closest one. That is.
Yeah. So Caesar's gonna add on to this. I do not respect the Crusaders. I find them as a non-threat, and with the Republic, they are nothing more than, well, thugs. I feel as though the Mandalorians will crush them in time, just on their own Instead, I'd rather have the opportunity to strike against this new invader, which no doubtably is one attacking this colony. If we can get some more information and some more technology, kind of bring up the hand for staff, give it a little scratch underneath the chin, we could get the upper hand. We already were a pseudo scout force before. Why stop there?
I mean, if they're coming in from that direction, Saijo seems like the next logical move.
Is this a
I'd have
paying
to-
job?
I'd have to agree with
Yes.
Bugs on that one.
Yeah. Like Mars is, I guess, going to consult the I guess on a pad or whatever the layout of the galaxy, and be like, I don't think there's actually. They're just pushing in the Republic space. It looks like. If this is in fact them.
I have my intuition, and it's really wrong.
Look, when he says that, is there something more to that? His intuition? Like, is he holding? Like, has he got a spy source or something? Does he look
You,
shifty?
It's the snake.
you can
feeding.
roll an insight.
Okay. How does that work against other players? I don't think I've ever done that against another player.
Definitely. So if you guys
Insight
both,
versus deception.
yep. So insight versus deception, and we got both you guys deciding too.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah, Garrett's just sizing him up like, what? That doesn't sound right. Insight.
He's holding his cards close to his chest. He isn't saying anything. He definitely doesn't give off the vibe that he's got a spy or anything, but definitely.
Yeah, I got my
definitely
information context too. It's whatever. Just nothing out of the ordinary to him. We all got contacts, right? Some of us put them in our eyes. Some of us talk to them. It's all whatever you want to do.
And once he's finished with his pitch for checking out this colony, giving another two, we don't know they're called the Yusong Vong yet, do we?
Oh, you do.
Yeah,
Carvas,
Carvas.
he monologued. He monologued.
How long did he monologue for? Like, the actor feat, did I pick up like his cadence and how he speaks enough? I know we used it when we were on the way out to try to throw the guards off a little, but I don't know how effective he actually was at that.
Because I don't think it was a minute, but I forgot how long you need for the actor side.
You need to hear him speak for like about it. Yeah, I believe it's a minute. Yeah, let me pull it up really quick.
We got 2 or 3 monologues from that guy. I think he spoke more than a minute to us.
So this mission that the general has given you is this just a scouting mission? Is this just go there, check on the planet, make sure that it's still there and fine, and then come back, or do we actually have to go surface side?
We go there, we check on it, and it would be our obligation. One moment. It would be our obligation to help out. If we didn't, well, chances are, since this is more of a personal call, you would not pay. Lisa.
Well, going back against the Vong is something that I don't really want to do, but it kind of is something that I've also been requested by my leadership to do.
You shall not want to go against the Fong anymore? Would that not be the greatest of field days for you? They was, aside from the planet blowing up. Their technology, their capabilities, even their very biology seems to be something right up your alley. I still have the heads for it.
It's all very interesting, and I'm very focused on it. I just think that maybe there's some more allies that we could potentially gather before diving back in, or at least in the time that we have here to enjoy it while it lasts. Because you've seen what they did to one planet. Who knows what else? Who knows if we've already seen everything that they're capable of doing? That being said, Director Jin here in charge of Zerka operations, he's still would like to see me, and I'm going to bring you if we go there. Um, he's asked me to attempt to capture one of these Vong ships, and I had an idea, kind of reading in the news that you were talking about. The Mandalorians, Vars. What do you think about maybe the Mandalorians helping us? Because the news is talking specifically about their unconventional tactics. Plus, they're pretty good warriors. You know,
Well, if I had to wager a guess, how much would Vars know about this, considering his time away?
Definitely, you're probably not as well informed as you used to, but you'd probably be familiar with some of the tactics that they're utilizing uh, for the kind of the command ships, or for capturing the ships for both the Republic and what happens. So you know that they kind of and I'm getting a little bit of feedback from somebody. I think it may be you, Burger. It's like a music.
Oh, that's my sister playing piano. Sorry.
Oh, no worries. So as you know that they've got some unconventional tactics for staging a Republic or staging kind of pirate style raids on both the Republic and Happen ships. And you know that it hasn't changed too much from when you were kind of directly connected into the Mandalorians. You know that a lot of times they just use kind of seal up their suits, make them airtight, and they'll stage kind of in hyperspace entry points. They'll have people just in their own Mandalorian Beskar garb, staged and ready to latch on to ships and cut their way in.
Well,
Wait, they just leave Mandalorian landmines of people saying that. I love that right there. Our character, that is glorious.
that is just a look, an opportunity. Well,
mean-
Vars would convey that essentially the unconventional method that the news is describing is essentially boarding them forcefully from space, cutting their way in and taking them on from the inside. All the heavy guns in the world don't matter if you're messing up their guts.
That's true. I mean, you've already kind of said exactly my thoughts, though. Right there, is that the Nova Kana is not equipped to do something like that. It's a quick get in, scan, maybe look and see what's there. It's a strong ship. I made her that way. It can take a beating, and you've seen it, but I don't think that us on our own, unless we got lucky and we found some lone drone ship out there, like the ones that were chasing us before that one jumped in.
Yeah.
Unless we get lucky and find one of those by themselves,
I mean,
I think we're gonna need help.
I don't like making assumptions, but considering everything that we've seen when it comes to their technology and what they consider weaponry, he's going to gesture towards the snake-looking monster wrapped around Caesar's arm.
Caesar's currently helping it with a drink of water, just
Yeah.
lightly holding it up for it to sip from.
Yeah, he's going to gesture at that and be like, well, I mean, I've never seen an animal like that. I don't have no idea what the inside of their ships would look like, let alone how to pilot one, take it over, what parts of it are important, how they manage their power, if they even have life support for, if we would even work for us, as who knows?
Not exhilarating though.
Well, just as a last thing of note, last two things of note, I guess I would say is that this is a job being offered by Zerka, and as one of their employees, I can tell you that they'll pay handsomely for the technology and our findings, which I'm actually waiting to hear back from the director to see what they're gonna do for us with what we've sent them and all that before we even undertake this. But I did do quite a bit of research en route here, and I've found a couple of weaknesses in their in their weapon systems and in their ships that we could potentially use against them. And if it ever comes to it, I will, of course, just for the sake of time, I'll share it then or prior to that. But if it makes you feel better, there's that. But again, I don't think that we would be able to take one of these ships without help, for sure. We would, or let alone connecting our ship to theirs, kind of the way that we did to the general ship. Who knows what would happen if we attached our ship to their ship? If there would be any sort of corruption. We've got an AI on our vessel, and the last thing that I need is a corrupt Jarvis who can now, because I upgraded him, can fly our ship. So,
Well, I mean, if
that would
that's the
not be
case, if you get, well, I'm just thinking outside the box, but if we all manage to make our suits space capable one way or another, that's one way of boarding a ship if we really wanted to go that route. But I mean, there's 5 of us at a snake.
So Dash is kind of like scratching his head a little bit, and he's like, "Now the idea of boarding a ship in space sounds really cool, but might be easier to board the ship when it's not on space, like on a planet at the colony."
Vars is gonna just stop for a moment, just look
Yeah,
over and be
I
like,
feel like that's the record scratch moment.
"Yeah, I
like,
think we might have overthinking this."
These just smile falters just a teeny bit because you see him like already writing out shopping list and bio suits, grappling hooks, maglock books. No, scratch that out. They don't use metal.
Yeah,
May I throw a spanner into the works here and remind us all that we didn't exactly have the cleanest of getaways, and we weren't exactly not noticed. How do we not know they're looking for us?
It's a great thing.
You're right.
They
Yeah.
are.
I mean, if someone, I mean, it's possible they got their hands full, or we don't know what they're up to. But I mean, I guess that's my point. We don't know what they're up to.
Yeah. Well,
We have no
somebody tells
idea
me
what we're walking into here. It could be a massive trap. I mean, and I like the idea of
Absolutely
capturing it on the planet rather than in space, but I don't know how to fly these things. Are they ships? Are they things? Do you fly them? Or do you tell them what to do? I mean, who
You're
knows?
right.
They got
We don't
giant
know
beetles
much.
and stuff that shoot out black holes. Nothing I've ever seen before. But I mean, if there's a way we can get more information, I'm not opposed to it. You're gonna need an excellent pilot after all, someone to fly the ship. But maybe we can use that to our advantage too. Maybe they do know who we are, and if we lure them out and get a couple, maybe we split them off so they're weak enough that we can capture them. And yeah, do your bosses want the big ships or the little ships, or any ship will do at this point?
They didn't specify, but again,
So the smallest one we can find, because they didn't specify and it's not in the contract. I know how contract law works. We get them what they want. Less risk.
That's that is a good question to ask when we go meet my director.
Fair enough.
It'll be the first question I ask.
But I would at least
specification.
suggest maybe starting small, something we can actually find. And if they are
Yeah.
after this ship in particular, maybe we use that against them. Maybe we do the Mando idea where we dump them at some point and we fly around pretending, "Ooh, look at me, come get me," and they send something to come get us. Or maybe we, make the ship look like it's hurt. They'll only send a couple things to come get us, finish us off, and that's when the Mandos strike. I don't know.
Or we just,
Ideas.
I mean, we could send out a mock, emergency signal, something along those lines. But I think we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
We, Talos has mentioned that his director wants to speak with us. I'm in hurting for credits, but knowing more about Devong would not be something I'd be against.
Same here. They're really putting a cramp in my style.
Well, with that, Vars is going to kind of tilt his helmet back. Take. I assume the drinks were purchased.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He'd buy nice drinks. He'd buy nice drinks. for
nice
everyone.
drinks. Yeah,
The
Vars
non-addictive
is,
one.
Vars is not a savorer of things. He'll just shoot it back. Shoot it back, slam it down, put his helmet down, and say, "Well, let's go meet a director." Yes.
Here's what
No?
hold you up for a moment. And gesture to the dance floor. Yes,
You go ahead. I'll wait for you. Don't worry.
Oh, you. From what I've heard, you've had a legendary list of places you're banned from. You most certainly would have some dance moves that would have gotten you kicked out. No?
I mean, yeah, and put on a few wanted lists. I mean, my dances aren't exactly non-lethal. I guess that's the way I'd tailor it.
Just don't put out your soul.
I don't bust a move unless I have to. Let me put it that way. But when I do, it's epic. You'll see it eventually, but not today. He's just gonna sit back with his drink. It's like
Yo, look,
I appreciate you trying to break open my shell, but like the lonely turtle, not right now.
Are we day drinking right now, or is it the evening?
There's no such thing to gear. It's all drinking.
Oh,
All
this-
day, all day.
So you guys are
Somewhere.
day drinking so far.
I assume we're nursing something like
Caesar will look to Dash, Vars, Talus, see who wants to join him on the dance floor.
Oh no! You have fun. And he like pushes his drink over to Dash.
Yes, you'll see like so Dash will kind of look over and see the drink, and he'll slam that one real quick and continue working on his data pad, and you'll clearly see it's like a very rough picture of a Vong ship and like placement of like breaching charges for like space invasion, planet invasion, and like size of ships. Like he's already planning out like how big of a bomb this needs to be.
Really
This
big.
is why I love this guy.
How good was the drink? I'm curious. How was it? A good drink? Was it like, oh, I'd go for another one of those, or oh my god, I can't believe they charge people for this?
So this is kind of it's definitely kind of a dance establishment. It's probably heavy on the booze, and probably it's a booze for a drink. I'll say it's if you like them kind of straight up and heavy pours, you'd like it. But if you want some disguising flavors, it's probably not up Vars' alley.
No, that's fine. It's a little tart, but that's okay. How much for another?
We'll say those initial round of drinks were just 5 credits apiece, so that was just 25 credits to you, Caesar, for that one.
Oh, that rounds me up. Perfect.
Oh, perfect.
Looking around, are there lots of loose credits laying around, like on tables and stuff, or like loose drinks?
Forceful.
Give me a perception
Dash
check.
brought his own.
If it's on their, if it's in their hand, it's disarmed. Sorry, what'd you say?
Roll a perception check.
Perception check.
You look around, you see a lot of people on the dance floor with the music just kind of bumping behind you. And you look at some of the other tables. You do find 10 credits on one of the tables not too far from you. But the table to the right looks like there's a couple of half-finished fuzzy bathas on the table.
So the 10 credits, it looks like a tip. Does it look like a tip?
Oh, it definitely looks like a tip. Yeah.
Okay. He has. There is a line. He's not taking tips.
Professionals have standards.
He understands how hard they work. They've thrown him out of many of these places. He gets it. They do not get paid well for what they do. Looking around at the drinks, it just kind of. Well, 2 half full ones equals a full one, right? Kind of
just do the quick wipe off.
force pull them to him. Yeah, and then wipe it off with the sleeve, and then pour them into one, and just.
Can we say that while this is going on, Bars is looking like ordering himself a double, and he sees these 2 drinks just kind of go, and he's like, "Damn it!" He'll slide 10 credits over to the bartender for his double fuzzy bantha. Was it?
That's the one of the drink they had. So you could get pretty much anything. They've got a wide array of things. So they've got Curlian whiskey, some Alderanian ales, a mix of Tatooine sunrises, just a plethora of different drinks you could pick up.
You know what? It's daytime. I'll have a Tatooine sunrise.
Perfect.
I am going to be seeing my director with 4 drunk people.
Yeah.
Are we drunk though? I mean, this is casual drink. This isn't like the super potent stuff, right?
But for you guys going back for your second drinks, give me a Constitution check.
Oh yeah.
Real fast, would it help if I said Caesar is diluting it with mouthwash?
I don't know. I think mouthwash has alcohol. I think or something.
Didn't know that is true. That's why. Oh,
Yeah. He's drinking Listerine. Shots
Got
of
it.
Listerine.
A save or a check?
A save. Sorry.
Oh my god! Yeah, Caesar's built up some
Oh,
tolerance from
I didn't
drinking
do
all
the
this
save.
mouthwash.
Oh,
Same thing, right?
You're good on that side. So Gear, you've had quite a few drinks today. This is nowhere near your limit. You're feeling fine. Maybe you can tell you've probably been drinking, but you're okay.
That dance routine is starting to sound good. Like,
Bars, you're a Mandalorian. You fight, you drink, you fight, you drink. You're feeling great. Caesar, even swinging between the mouthwash and regular drinks, you're feeling okay. You're feeling good. Like you don't really feel too much of it. You got some minty fresh breath too. Now, unfortunately, Dash, as you're taking that last drink and looking at your hollow display showing your land space breaching plans, you're feeling a little light. You're feeling good. Like you're feeling like you don't notice it, but you got a little slur to your step. But you're feeling great. You know, you've got an awesome plan too. Like you're in a good day. It's a good day for Dash.
You just you start to see the picture, and at first it's like kind of crisp, and by the end it's just like a big square with like big lines coming off, and I'm like trying to explain this, and I'm obviously wasted, and I'm like, oh, I don't know what was in that drink.
Just following it the whole time.
Yeah.
It's like
Everything goes on to the dance floor with Caesar.
all right, Caesar. Let's find somebody. See if they've got stuff on them. Distract them. I'll get on that dance floor, and I'll dance my ass off, and we'll see if we can take their stuff. You in?
Oh wow, that is not how I took that at all.
Caesar will actually hold up the hand, his left hand, the one without a thumb. Misa has one that.
Yeah, I really thought Garrett was going to be looking for more drugs at first.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, if we find anybody with some stuff on him, I'm like,
yeah, we're going to find somebody with stuff on them, and we're going to take it. I don't mean,
Yeah,
we'll take
over
it.
there like,
yeah, right.
everybody's around me going,
Yeah.
So before Dash goes on the dance
guys,
floor,
I think I need to get out of here, guys. I need to get out of here.
All right, let's.
So I'm gonna take off like this big belt, and on it is just like a string of grenades, and I'm gonna like leave it in front of Tals. Be like, hold on to this for a sec, and I'll head out.
You're leaving the boys behind.
At least you gave it to the sober person.
So what do Caesar and Dash do on the dance floor? Or is Garrett, are you going to? Oh, Garrett, are you trying to pickpocket somebody?
Garrett was trying to tell, like, so you come out and you introduce me as what's a good name? We need a good name. Just any name, doesn't matter.
I'm not hoping you rob someone.
You don't even need to rob somebody. If we're gonna dance, I told you it's gonna be epic. We're gonna do this right. I'm not
be a
just
good
doing
dance, but Misa, I'm not gonna have to pickpocket.
We don't have to do that. I just say if you want me to dance, it's gotta be epic. I don't waste energy on this crap unless it's we go full bore, we don't do it at all. You know what I mean? We don't need to
As
steal
you guys
anything.
are talking, you
We're
see
gonna
Dash
steal
doing
their
the
attention.
sprinkler like out on the floor.
Did you put a sprinkler on the floor? Is that what you said?
Doing the sprinkler.
The sprinkler.
Oh,
Yeah, the sprinkler.
what's the
We're
sprinkler?
not doing it on camera, so
What's the sprinkler?
you can
You-
tell
you
he's just
can-
wasted.
It's a roll of performance for how well he dances.
For sure. You could do one as well, Dash. You would have a disadvantage, unfortunately. Unless actually, you have either disadvantage unless you think Dash is one of those people that dances better drunk. I'll let you decide that.
He can't dance worse, so we're just gonna say advantage.
All right, go for it.
Caesar's just doing the default KOTOR dance, like the little arm wave.
Oh, the Bioware dance.
Yeah.
You guys get on the dance floor. You don't embarrass yourselves, but between the banging music and the flashing lights, nobody takes too much notice of you. You guys hold your own. You're average, like, even being drunk, Dash, you're just an average person on the floor dancing, doing the sprinkler.
Bars noticed.
Yeah.
Hey, Garrett was going to wander into the refresher station, into a stall, and then just kind of hang his head. And then as he comes up, he pulls deep into the force, feels it, and then his appearance changes to that of something he's seen before but doesn't really know. He thinks it's exotic, might be cool, is a blue-eyed chiss, or a red-eyed chiss. Just the blue skin and the red face and the dark blue hair, and he's going to pop out onto the dance floor and introduce himself in a very loud voice.
You could probably do a Duros, but the Chiss are kind of separate from the galaxy at this point, so you probably wouldn't.
So would he have
see
not
the
have
Chiss.
seen? Would he have not have seen? Okay,
Not a
Duros.
Chiss, yeah.
That works. Something exotic. Something.
Yeah.
You know what? A Zeltron, because they've got
Zeltron
like,
would be a good one for that.
yeah,
Spot.
that's what we'll go with. Zeltron male, like pink
Yeah.
skin, blue hair, whatever that is.
Yeah.
And he'll go out there and he'll just shout in a loud voice. I don't know, something. Are you ready, party people? And he'll go out there and just start dancing and cutting it up. Would this apply at all
Oh.
for performance?
just pulls out the you song with bomb voice. You have a cool voice. Now
Go for it. Give it roll a performance check with advantage. As you try to do the performance or dance of your life.
There's lots of hip thrusting and somersaults and.
Do the rest of us realize that this Zeltron is wearing Geert's purple robes?
Yeah. And I don't think Gert mentioned changing his clothes. So yes, you guys see
Yep.
Gert go to the bathroom and then a Deltron wearing Gert's clothes come out, which just seems really weird in the club. But that's what you guys see happen. That's what you guys
She was seen weirder. He doesn't question it.
see.
Yeah, he supports it. He supports it.
And he'll walk up
Ours doesn't know.
at the end, do the thing, and walk up to Caesar. I told you that was going to be epic.
People seem pretty.
You're fat. Let's go.
So people seem pretty entranced with the dance. People love Deltrons, especially in party places like this. You definitely have a little small semicircle of people yelling, "Go Deltron! Go Deltron! Go!" Think
He'll
Ninja
just shout-
Turtles with the Vanilla Ice thing.
Oh, Spinning on his shell. And he'll just shout, "Free drinks for everyone!" And then he'll walk back into the refresher station. And he'll dip his head down and change back to gear. And then he'll walk out and be like, "Yeah, we probably should leave."
I imagine sometime in that like dance moves, the girl Caesar goes to Talus. It's just like, for the reason why I was going to Gungan guillotine. Me fact, a couple of people's heads. Just one like that. Like,
Actually, now that I think about it, I remember why I got kicked out of this one.
Talus is really questioning his company now, aside from bars. Holding it well. You got the doodler next to him that's like, "Hey, look this out," and then goes and dances and gives me his grenades. You got the gun and he's like, "I sleep off grenades, it's fun." And then I don't know what's going on. I don't know what. Talus is like,
Reason
do you
why
want your
they call me
grenades
the
back? Oh man.
Perfect. We see a small kind of kerfuffle forming as people look around for the Deltron for shouting for their free drinks, kind of running up to the bar and demanding free drinks. Or is there anything else you guys want to do in the cantina before moving on?
Yeah. Leave out the window.
So I'll go back to Talus, and I'm like stumbling back, and I'll be like, "Oh, I'll take my grenades back," and I'll just like try to grab them and just like hook them back up and be like, "Let's go, guys."
Just go,
Vars will.
I'm like holding them out in front of me and like grabbing them, like miss it the first time. I'm like, you got this? And you're like, depth perception's not working for you there, buddy. I'll help him clip them on.
Okay.
I sure hope he remembers where to throw those things.
Perfect.
Not on the dance floor.
Either way, I'm sorry you all had to see that. That was, like I said, I don't do that very often. It's usually to distract people.
I'm not even mad. I'm kind of impressed. I don't understand how the hell you convinced that Zeltron to come out and dance for you.
Yeah, you just walked into the refresher and you met someone and were like, hey, go out there and
This is your like force trance, like, you know.
yeah, was that
there's a bit of force work there. You could say that.
Yeah.
Suppose that's force is always working in mysterious ways.
Yeah.
Sure, that'll be useful
one of
in
them.
the future.
Force users, man.
Very useful. It's come in handy.
I
Can also make you disappear. Probably like what we should do to this cantina before I get kicked out of bed. Because if anybody recognizes the clothes I'm wearing are just like the ones of the Celtron we all saw, I might have to pay for something I can't.
It all makes sense now.
yeah.
Let's get some jokes back to uniforms and go see this story.
Perfect.
I think that we should walk around for a little bit and sober up before we go see the director.
Find some stem calf, some stem.
So Dash just figured out that like Geert was Zeltron. So he like starts repeating. He's like, "Go Zeltron, go Zeltron, go!" Like, through the club as we're
leaving. You see some people look, go, where is the Zeltron? I need my free booze. And just as you guys are able to make your way outside of the club, we're gonna take a quick
How much
break.
would it cost for the round for the bar real fast?
Oh, that would be expensive. That would be probably about 500 credits if you want to pay it off.
Caesar likes this place. He's been going here for like a few days. It's like he's going to be gone. He doesn't like throwing his credits around. He knows what his part is. He's not going to pay for the drinks, but he's going to tip the bar like 50 credits. So because they had to deal with that.
You see kind of the two like behind the bar go, thank you. And she kind of looks at the table you guys have, probably with doodles all over it, and just kind of a bit of a mess. And she goes, you guys earned it, but we appreciate the tip. You're welcome back, Caesar. I don't know about your crew.
This one time, dear. We should just leave so.
So we're going to take a quick break before the crew meets with the director, and I probably assume the general as well. So we're going to go for a break, and we'll be right back. What time is it? 38. We'll be right back at probably about 48. So we'll see you all
10 minutes.
back in a second.
Okay.
Oh boy,
Rufus, did we get an?
some type of game, whether it be Star Wars, Mutants and Masterminds, or next week we're doing Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So drop by and hang out with us to see the crew play the various games. And usually every Tuesday about 6:30, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll have something running. Oh, that actually reminds me, I forgot to tell you guys this too. Unfortunately, we won't have Invasion on the 11th of April. A random note, I will be kind of hanging out with my mom. She fortunately has surgery on that Monday before, so no game that day, but we'll be back on our regular schedule after that. But yeah, so join us for Power Rangers next week, the 5th, 7 p.m. Definitely with that one too, that's kind of cool. We're doing a giveaway as well, so attendees have the chance to win a PDF copy of the system. So join in the raffle to win, and you guys may get to see a copy of the system. And it's actually pretty cool. Like initially I thought it was like a D20 clone, but it's or not a D20 clone, Dungeons and Dragon clones, but it's its own kind of system on that side. So check it out. To drop a follow and join us next Tuesday. But let's get back into Evasion, where the group just left the what did I call this? Something's going on here. Yeah, it was me. It was me.
Right.
My internet's just been buggy lately. I'm not sure.
Gotta upgrade the internet to fiber.
Oh, it fills my area.
My internet's been doing good today. Okay, so like last session, you guys all like the entire session sounded like you were underwater.
Oh,
Like
no.
I had to put my ears, like I was like I can barely hear these guys.
But it looks like we're back.
So, yeah, we're back and going.
Yeah.
Gotta love internet and technology. Where did I suppose I was saying? Oh yeah, so we the group just left the Zoltry Zabrak Cantina, and after that, and started probably a bit of a kerfuffle there when
Is
got on the dance
is the
floor.
stream showing?
It should be. Yeah, it's going on mine. Yeah.
You have to refresh it.
Yeah, you
I
have
had
to
to refresh it to get it to go.
Perfect. And you guys, so you talked about some of your missions, and it looks like you guys are going on the way to meet Director Jen. No, so you guys make your way to the Zerka offices in Bespin. You see kind of, you all probably, from your time on the planet, know it's a Republic planet, but Zerka definitely has some deep financial stakes here. And while it's not in their corporate space, it's definitely part of their little corporate alliance. They can definitely have a little bit of pull on the planet. So as you guys make your way there, and probably some sobering up a bit as they go, you do see kind of the pristine offices of Zerka on Bespin. You move past a couple around other security droids who kind of check your Talos' credentials and wave you guys in. And eventually you are in Director Jin's waiting room outside of his office. And you see just kind of the area just pretty finely just decorated. You see they've got some marble floors, pretty kind of open air, kind of just style for it. Pretty austere too, not too much clutter. It kind of got the marble floors and kind of like the real clean tech looking walls. As you guys are waiting in the waiting room with one of their protocol droids watching the crew. After probably about a 15-20 minutes, you do see Director Jen walk out and kind of wave you guys in. He kind of gives a nod to Talos and goes, "The report was intriguing, though the news is not great. Losing Vela is doing havoc with our stocks. Like, we had a board meeting the other day, and we were trying to find new ways to synergize, but just stock is crumbling. Investors are losing their poodoo. Tell me you've got some good news for me." Did we lose you, Dallas?
Yeah, I don't. Did we?
Uh-oh. Are you there?
Dallas?
Hey, bud. I see movement. I don't know.
I don't think he
Dallas?
hears us.
I don't think so.
Oh,
Oh, he's on mute, I think. Dallas, you're on mute if you're talking.
Oh,
Unless
he
this is
does
one.
not hear us.
Oh,
No.
Yeah, I think his sound is muted. Hey,
I can't
there
even
you
see him.
Wait, but there you are.
go. Oh, we can hear you
Okay.
now.
Yeah, we did for a second. Okay.
oh, will you pose that question to the group as well as we wait for Dallas to connect? You kind of see him look around and goes, "You've chosen quite the colorful company."
I can't hear or see him.
Oh, we can hear you a little bit. I don't know. That doesn't help. You can't hear us, but
Okay.
Can try restarting it. See if
Yeah.
that works.
I'd refresh. Yeah. Can somebody type in to refresh
Let's
for him?
Yep. Here, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. Maybe F5 will do it. Because I mean, we're
Caesar
all.
would. Oh, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say I really hope he's back on because I think we're all a little drunk and kind of out of our element here. Hello, yes, hi, Mr. Businessman.
Caesar is always. I think it was established very on.
right.
He's always drinking on the job. It's just
Oh.
most of it is either wine or alcoholic mouthwash. So this is literally his element, and he's just gonna pose the question to him.
But wait, look, I think Talos is about to speak up. Oh my God.
Just like hopefully stop it. And Caesar just like, you know who I am. One of my many names.
All right, what did I miss? Because I couldn't hear you when you got back on.
Oh, no worries. Yeah. So basically, you guys escorted into Director Jin's office. I didn't describe Director Jin, I realized. So you see he is just kind of a pretty stout looking human. He's got kind of like corporate garb. You see, he's got the robes that a lot of the Zerka offices favor, with kind of the gold and yellow coloring with some black trim on it. You see, he's got a pretty big looking ring on his finger too, just with kind of a little chubby as well. In the finely decorated office, and he basically let you guys know that Zerka stock is plummeting after the news, or after Vela has been destroyed, even though the news hasn't been confirmed. And he's looking to you for some good news, hopefully.
So as he starts to talk about the stock, Talos will just interrupt him. Excuse me, you know that an entire planet just exploded, right? And
Yeah, thoughts and prayers, but stock is how that's how I get my bonus. That's my bonus. Your bonus too,
How much is your bonus, by the way? Just out of curiosity.
Speaking of bonuses, you asked us to do something that is currently in a realm of the unknown. I look around at everybody, and I hope they're on their best behavior at the moment. We're a pretty, good group, at least as far as I've seen. We handled ourselves pretty well on Villia, in fact, and I'll just introduce everybody and where they're from. I'll point out 2 Republic soldiers held their own. We've got a Mandalorian, and I look at Gert, and I'm just like,
A pilot.
we have a stellar pilot. Now, I myself am a half decent pilot, but we wouldn't have gotten out of Velio without him. Actually, all of us working together. So that being said, the Republic has hooked us up pretty nicely, and they've actually given us a mission of their own, which might be a twofer if all goes well when we go there. But we're interested, which is why we're here, Director, to help your stocks.
Yeah. Well, glad to hear you all are interested. And yeah, it's our bonus. The stocks do better. Not only just Zerka does better, because Zerka cares. When Zerka does better, the galaxy does better. Because we care. We have you've heard about our philanthropic arms. We put some credits there.
I'd like to point something out. When this guy said thoughts and prayers, Caesar, with the sound of grinding stones, with a turn, his head, not his body, just his neck and head to Talus. And the more this man has spoken, like Caesar is all about merit, a bit from the Dominion. He's all about like people who can prove himself. This whole team proved himself and then some. They escaped the exploding planet. This dude right here, there's a great increasing, like it's increasing in diameter. This vein bulging on his head, and you can tell had it like if not for the fact he liked Talus, he would be berating this man and would basically just made him just what Caesar do.
You see him kind of look
Director.
around. Go ahead.
You respond to him. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, definitely. So he Caesar, is this pretty obvious or what?
I think Caesar has this. The thing is, his smile is not insincere in the slightest. If the director looks into Caesar's eyes, he can see the malicious intent, like all the ways Caesar could have this man broken either through physical damage or emotional damage.
He's still smiling though, right?
Absolutely. No, listen.
Okay.
Despite the bulging vein of rage and just pure frustration, there is the satisfaction and bliss of all the possibilities before him. Of the butcher of the room, the Gungan guillotine, the dentist.
You see, he looks around at the crew, kind of. He looks from Nurse Dash to Vars to Kurt, and then looks at Caesar and goes, "You guys are a pretty storied crew. You're the butcher of the ram. You're that dude that ran down the lines and killed that Republic general. Hey, can I get a hollow with you after this over? I'll throw you 10 credits. 15 credits. What are you worth? Yeah, get a little hollow picture. I can hang it up. I can."
He's got like a wall over to the right of his desk where he's got like all these pictures of like famous people that he's been with, and I'm down there in the bottom, and there's like somebody creeping up behind a spider, like behind my head. Well,
if no one stops him, Caesar's gonna walk to this. Like, what if he's behind the desk? Caesar's walking behind the desk and up to this man.
What?
Nobody.
Hey.
Somebody get the hollow. Get the hollow cab. Get the hollow.
I'll take the hollow for 15 credits.
Well, director, as you can probably smell, it's been a pretty stressful trip back and coping, and everybody's doing it in their own way. But with all due respect, you're sending us into the unknown, essentially a suicide mission. The Republic has given what they can to help us. I am happy to help Zerka. I love my title and everything that comes with it, but we have a new threat that's entered the galaxy, and I think it's definitely, considering we were the first encounter, it's definitely our responsibility to respond accordingly. And part of that is we need the resources. We need help. So the Republic's got our back. Does Zerka have my back? Does Zerka have my team's back?
Yeah, Zerka cares. Zerka cares. Invaders, Galaxy. The Galaxy's been at war. The Dominion Republic. Now we got these new guys. We see this as an opportunity. Bad things happen. Everybody knows that. But this could be the things you described, things that can make black holes and do all that crazy poodoo. That's things people would pay for. So yeah, we've got your back. If you're able to get us this ship, and it doesn't need to be, let's say there's 2 classes we're going to say for this. If you can get us one of their fighters, we'll throw you 20,000 credits if it's alive. 15,000 credits if you have to bring us back one that's dead but not too banged up. So we'll pay that. If you can get us a medium ship, kind of one of their little their gunboats or one of the cruisers, we're going to throw you 40,000 credits. How's that sound?
I just like look at everybody while he's saying that, and I'm just like, can you? And I go, director, how much did it cost? How much was I funded for the Novacana?
Yeah, we paid quite a bit for that ship. That was an investment on our part because we believe in you. And that is a Zerka craft.
Oh my God.
Caesar is
So-
just radiating. Can I roll intimidation for just the aura around Caesar? Like he's
He's
about
fine.
to explode.
Definitely
This-
roll intimidation. He's pretty dense, but roll intimidation.
Could it be advantage as even the amphistaff would probably be leaving Caesar's arm to get away from him? Just like, oh,
Unfortunately, no advantage. This guy is one of those guys who's like, he's at a high level position, and he's probably somewhat qualified at making money, but he thinks he's the poodoo and doesn't really pay attention. Oh, nice.
yeah.
But-
So, let's throw in, threatening with that. Just like have it just like everything just click in his head at one single second. Just like, oh no. When Caesar just begins to move past Talus's arm to continue walking up.
Yeah, because you see him go, I believe in you, or Zerka believes in you to Talus, and he kind of sees Caesar approaching, and you kind of see him shrink back, goes, hey, Butcher, hey, we're friends, right? I want to get you paid. We're friends, right?
Do you know what Misa has done?
Yeah, well, I've heard the hollow stories. I don't believe everything on the net, but we don't want any problems.
I made exceptional effort that nothing was left out and nothing was exaggerated when the Dominion had my actions be propaganda. That it is the exact story as told. So every rumor, every story, every horror you've heard of me is true. And thus you would know that I enjoy merit, those who have earned their position. And I enjoy those who properly reward those who have earned their position. I do it myself, but something I cannot stand, and it's partially the reason why I've joined the Republic, is when people who deserve to be rewarded are not. Take my compatriot here. He kind of gestures to Dash. One of the greatest Republic
Director,
minds.
I just want it to be known that he is very drunk.
Caesar just looks at him. This is not
Continue,
a new
Caesar.
state. This is not a new state for me. Dash. He is one of the Republic's greatest minds when it comes to demolition. When I first met him, it was not formally, it was by stepping on one of his mines. I have been in artillery, Israel bombardments, I have been on ships as they laid waste to cities, but never before had I stepped on a mine that made me feel as though I'd been thrown into the center of the sun. And he is treated like dirt. I make sure he's not. What you've offered here is what the words you have given as consultation are hollow, empty, and quite frankly disgusting. Normally, I do not care for morals, but you have made an exception, and the money you have offered us is so paltry for what is essentially behind enemy technology of a unknown species, race, an entire invader to our very galaxy. You, sir, do not think we are stupid, yes?
God, nobody called you stupid. Nobody called you stupid. Zerka
Why are you,
cares.
You, sir, do not
Can-
care.
can-
You,
can
sir, only
Vars
care about
interject?
credits.
Go ahead, Vars.
Mars just going to step up and say, "We survived when a planet didn't. We're worth more."
He goes, okay. I feel like you guys, Zerka really does. I care. Me, Director Jen cares about you all. I don't want to beef with the Butcher. So if you guys take on this mission, Zerka will hook you up with a little something on your ship. Just a little something to show Zerka cares. We'll put it on there, install it for you. just as long as you guys go out there and bring us back one of those long ships, hopefully alive, so our scientists can really go to town on it.
You also know I'm called the dentist, correct?
Because, I am a director of Zerka. He kind of points to his shirt.
Yeah, I think that we should leave. Director, if you have anything else for me or I find out anything else, I will message you, call you. We have a meeting with the general of the Republic here, or a general of the Republic here. Yeah, I'm like, Talos is just like really out of his element here, speaking way more than he's supposed to, and just about as pissed as everybody else is probably too, because while Talos does work for Zerka, he is part of the Republic. He was part of the Republic before he came to them. And was part of their corporation, or is part of their corporation. So he does have a heart. But yeah, and he starts to make towards the door, and he's like, "All right, let's go to the general, please."
Hold on,
Please,
hold
please."
on, just one second.
We're getting into
Mr. Director.
just like
Yeah,
he's trying to like
the
come up with
Kamasi
directives.
sniff credits, boy.
So it's my understanding you're in the neighborhood for some technology for Zerka, right? Because you care. Would you say that's fair?
He looked really excited as Talos started heading towards the door, and you see his face just fall. He goes, "Yes."
Hold on. Hey, why the long face? You're not a horse. No need for that. Just
What's a horse?
leave a four-legged animal on some weird Terra planet. I don't know. Anyway,
They're canon.
but you need technology, right? You want technology these invaders are using, right? That's got to be worth some credits, not just the ships, right? Is there anything else we can bring back that maybe gets us some credits?
You see, he smiles at that and goes, "Yes, there's other things," and you kind of see him shimmy away from the desk on the other side of Caesar as he starts looking over to Garrett. I go, "Yeah, the boys want the ship real bad. But if you could bring us one of those," you kind of see him point to the hollow screen, and a picture comes up of both the Dovin basils you guys saw, the big one and the little one that you found in the cavern. You can bring us one of those. Not as much, but 35K.
What
Those
about
are the things that implanted the things into the cheeks, right?
He doesn't know about those.
Okay.
Talos cut that out of the report.
Yeah, remember you told me not to share that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Caesar's appreciative of that.
Well, what about weapons? You haven't interested in any small arms, that kind of thing?
You gotta
I
see
had
if
plenty to throw at us.
you gotta see if thinking goes. Nobody really wants a snake staff. No offense, Butcher. But if you could bring us some of that goo poodoo, that looked like it could be useful. I bet if I gave a couple of our contracts to you guys see him go like the other people, the people that like to throw stuff and sabers and the Jedi. Yeah, we give it to the Jedi. I think they'd like to be able to throw some stuff and stop people in place. He gives that too.
Okay.
Maybe, hopefully alive. We'll throw 3K in there for you.
Out of the folds of his clothes, he's going to pull out one of those long kufe knives and just kind of hold it out to him. He's like, "How about this? Interested in this?"
Kind of look it over and goes, "I mean, that's beautiful, but it looks like a knife."
Yeah.
I can't sell it. I mean, we sell knives.
But you're not considering this like a true scientist. You see, Talos over here, he didn't want me to tell you this plan because he said there's no way that the director would take this because he cares too much. He couldn't take this off my hands for the price I'm asking because it's too little. And I was like, well, Talus, he can get a jump start on the DNA sequencing. I mean, wouldn't you want a jump start on the DNA sequencing so that when you get the ship, you don't have to spend all that time sequencing that DNA? You've already got it done. And then you just move on to the next phase, right? I mean, doesn't that sound like a better idea than getting the ship and spending weeks figuring out its DNA? While we're out getting the ship, you can figure it out while we're doing that.
You see him
You're not
pause it.
considering from every angle.
He's gonna look over to Talus and go, anything he's saying? Is that like,
As the resident geneticist and probably foremost expert on this planet, still, which is almost everywhere I go, I would have to say, I mean, he's making points. And above board, I'm just saying. I didn't say valid. I just said points.
just making points. All right. I'll give it. So, roll me a deception with advantage, Garrett.
Thank goodness for that advantage, man. Varge is going to cross his arms and kind of understand what's going on and just not impressed. Just loving the grift.
He makes the mistake of, for a split second, believing that this man, no way he's this incompetent to believe it. Then I imagine the reaction, and just that's when Caesar would start walking away to the doors. By town, it's just like, "No, I'm out. I reached my limit."
Yeah, I'm like,
He made points.
Read the room, guys. Read the room.
I'm all about the grift. I'm not walking away from Zerka credits.
You see him kind of look at it. He goes, you know what? Yeah, we'll buy that off you. It's a knife, but maybe we can't get some DNA poodoo out of it. You can see him look at his hollow pad. He goes, "What are you 800 credits for? Yeah."
Any chance we can maybe make that an even 1,000? I've got a few bar tabs I've got to pay off.
You smell
really
like a bar,
appreciate it.
but fortunately, buddy, it's a tight economy. My stock, it went down so much.
You know what? You are so right. I forgot all about the stock. The 800 sounds just glorious. I'll take that.
Yeah,
and I'll hand him the knife.
Thank you for the acknowledgement. Everybody's talking about Vela, but nobody talks about a stock.
I know, right? It's just planet goes like this, but your stock went like this. And I mean, why does no one talk about that? That's emotion too, right?
Yeah, it's a backwater outer rim planet. We got a ton of those.
It's so terrible. Well, anyway, we have an appointment with a Republic general, and we can't keep them waiting.
So this whole time, you can tell like Dash is like trying to nurse a hangover a little bit. He doesn't want anyone to know, and he's already super uncomfortable in this setting. Like this is not where he makes, this is not where he's used to being. And so he's like sort of following along, and he like knows Caesar talked about like how I can make bombs, and he just seen Geert like give him something. So like he like awkwardly just takes one of his charges out of his pocket, like his makeshift charge, and puts it on the table, and he's just like, "You figure that out too," and he just walks out. You can tell this thing is just like sparking, and you're like, "Will it blow up?"
Set an IED on the table.
If that's an unintentional intimidation, could that be advanced given what Caesar did before? There you go. Live grenade.
Talus just walks over and he's like, "Oh shit." It's just a prank. He does to everybody, and he like picks it up and he's like, "If there's nothing else, there's nothing else. Have a good day, director."
You can see him go like, "What the griff?" At first, he's holding his chest. He's a big guy. He's holding his chest like he's panicking. He takes call me from now on.
It'll just be me coming here from now on.
You see,
move like down the hall.
You see, like he's like, "Oh yeah, bye," and he closes the door.
Oh my gosh!
And you see him just kind of like, you see him because he's got like one of those like chic glass windows. So you see, as soon as he closes the door, he thinks he's good, but you see him just like fall into his chair, like holding his chest. Afterwards, after you all are escorted out,
I get my credits.
You did, yeah, 800 credits.
Yeah, right.
Those
on the way out,
hmm.
Caesar's going to look at Dallas and just be like, "You also should leave the this and join the Republic. I can guarantee you, not only will you be more appreciated, you'll have more funding, and that is a quite insult to this place. The Republic is a bit stingy nowadays."
Just real quick, Tegan. So, as far as the Republic is concerned, with kind of like my backstory stuff and my augmentation of Bacta and the improvement that I made to it, the Republic took that from me, right?
Yeah, they took that. You were part of it was
Oh,
still while you were in college, so they acquired it through wartime acts, and they gave you probably a medal, and it was like, hey, you did good work, and now it's theirs.
Here's some shiny stuff. Bye.
Wait, that's
Yeah,
the rumor
so-
that people know. Yeah, Caesar
Yeah,
will
you-
actually kind of quickly bring that up, just like, unlike before, I'll make sure this time you're compensated fairly. I will not settle for anything less.
well, the thing is that Zerka never questions what I need. They give me most times what I request. If I need a lab, I get a lab. I need some sort of tool, I get the tool. I need the money, they find it. And I usually don't ask questions. Velia's destruction has really made it apparent that at least one of them cares more about the money than they actually do the helping of people and everything. It's war profiteering. I'm not dumb. None of us are dumb about it. And I just kind of look at everybody as we're walking in whatever direction to get to the general. But I'm already part of the Republic. I'm just associated with a corporation, and breaking away from that is not so easy. You know, there's a lot of title and privilege, and I'm in a good position through this corporation to make a good impact, especially in the situation that's going on right now. But I do appreciate you trying to look out for me. It does. It is appreciated.
I understand your sentiment, but as Mifas made a bit of a switch lately, and understand it is more than worth it.
Yeah. I can only imagine what you're going through, and your reputation definitely precedes you in more ways than one. So
You could still go to bars wherever you want, though. That's
That's a big one.
People might look at you weird, but at least you get in. He's like, anyway, that guy was a jerk. Kind of got that feeling off of him, you know? Like I didn't want to punch his face so much as stab it. Like it's a new feeling, and I don't get that often. But then I replaced it with the fact he just kept talking about stock and his money and bonus this and bonus that. Like, does Zerka keep tabs on like where these people live? Maybe. I mean, for purely conversational purpose, but like,
I think it's a little above my pay grade.
all right, yeah. Well, you know, one of these days they'll look the other way.
Who knows? Quick question, just out of curiosity. My position within Zerka, like how far below am I from director?
Yeah, so with your position, you're kind of like a kind of subject matter expert. So you're on the ranking. You're kind of like the tech side, the science side. So directors are more kind of the business side. So you're probably right below, kind of somewhat below a director. Kind of from the science side, you've got your own science lead back in the home base for Zerka. But you would, if you're working through a project, working at a center, you would report to the director. So
Okay.
not super far below them, but they're the business side. They're usually the ones making the core decisions based off of kind of what's presented to them.
Yeah, that'll help me going forward. I just wanted to make sure that some of the like wording that I was saying to the director wasn't like really crossing any real lines or anything like that.
Oh no, it was perfect. So after you guys had the confrontation with Director Jin, are you all heading to the General Vet's base in the Republic?
Yeah. Does Var see Dash stumbling a bit?
No, I think I'm probably good by now. That's why I rolled that con. I was really hoping I'd critically fail that. I ain't gonna lie.
Got that same day hangover, which is always the worst. Which is all...
mhm.
He snuck a shot of tequila in his drink. Beer. Just
Oh.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, I forgot to mention it earlier, but I do have a friend at the Tipsy Tauntaun. I might want to stop in and check in on him when all this is done, if we got the time. I can go myself too. I don't want to burden you guys, but it'd be nice to stop in and see him. I gotta see how he's doing, especially with all this stuff. We had mutual friends back on Valia, so might be nice to let him know what's going on.
Another bar.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember getting kicked out of this one. I'm pretty sure I pay my way here. Drinks aren't usually too expensive, so I usually do pay, but I don't know. I could do it myself if you want.
No worries.
But we got a general waiting for us. I don't want to keep us any longer, but thought I'd throw it out there. Just something
Let's
to do.
see.
Maybe a nightcap. How about that? Drinks on me, especially our director there. That thing wasn't worth 800 credits. That they were using rocks, for God's sake. Like, they'll use anything. Their rocks did
The
more
rocks
damage
are
than
doing more
mine.
damage than that sword.
You know, I was half expecting you to pull out a rock.
Gonna give him the rock. The rock like killed me. I'm keeping this thing. This thing is least expected. I'm gonna find the leader of this invasion. I'm gonna hit him with that fucking rock.
It has to be now that rock will be the final hit.
That better be. I'm gonna take the rock out of my pocket. You're right.
Let it be
Then
so.
the force point, then you'd have proficiency in the rock.
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
Get a decked out, customized rock.
A rock.
I could just see it like with sandpaper, giving it an edge.
I rolled it in tar and stuck nails on it, so it's got extra like piercing damage.
Oh, that's good.
But your general, I think this Jedi Master, maybe they're probably waiting for us. I don't want to piss them off. We should probably go.
She was already chugging some of his mouthwash again, just like needing something to help with that last encounter.
Perfect. You guys are able to make your way across Cloud City to the other side, to kind of also to where you guys are docked, the Novacana initially, and you do see Republic troopers kind of patrolling through, and eventually you are escorted into what looks to be kind of like a little bit of a makeshift room. Looks like they kind of co-opted it into their office. You see Master Kalu, the Bothan Jedi Master, it's kind of standing on the desk, leaning against the desk. You see right behind the desk is General Vet, the Zabrakian general of the Republic. You see Master Kayla gives you guys a smile as you come in, where General Vet just kind of nods his head and goes, "Good to see you. Dash, Caesar, you've heard our offer. Are you all interested? I can give you more of a rundown of what we know so far. But the public's kind of tying our hands right now. Master Kalu and I are being forced to go back to Coruscant and report out to the Senate directly. They think it's everybody's blaming the Sith. They think that the Minion pulled some poodoo and destroyed Vela, and that we're out of it. They think that we either saw something and are covering our own asses right now, or that they've used some Sithy magic, whatever illusiony type poodoo, and we can't trust our eyes. So we got to go through and report back to both the Republic as well as a representative of the Jedi Council that's on Coruscant.
Caesar's already offering up the bottle of alcoholic mouthwash, and we'll point out that it's alcoholic for him. just offering it to Vec. Pulls out a different one for the Jedi Master.
He goes, mouthwash?
Yes. You seem to drink it all the time, do you not? I think actually you have not noticed.
I've noticed. I just try to ignore most of the things you do.
This is the first time. This is the first time he's actually managed to get through Caesar's skin, and Caesar actually consented for the genuine. This probably feels a little uncanny too. Just like just like wide eyes, mouth agape, just like takes himself out of it.
Varus is going to take a moment and say, "So is really like you keep? Is it a Gungan thing or is it a you thing?"
It's a Misa thing. Once I got into the dentistry as a hobby rather than just a torture method, it just tastes good. It's better than most wines. It's a great additive. Keeps them clean and fresh.
You see Master Caleb go, what? No, General Vet, don't be so ornery. And you see him he thinks it looks like he's gonna reach towards the mouthwash, but thinks better. And you see you kind of see and hear a door or like a cabinet swing open, and you see a bottle of Carillion whiskey float out. And he goes, but my friends, you save your mouthwash. It is yours. We are honored by your presence. Let's all take a shot of the Carillion whiskey before we continue on our endeavors that are so pressing in the Force and galactic matters.
Caesar's gonna mix his mouthwash in it. Watch it pour for him.
Yeah, I'll take one. We're gonna need it after we're all gonna talk about, I bet.
You see General
Talos needs it now.
Master Kalu pours out the shots. And you see him take one of himself, the Jedi Master. And you see that takes one really quickly, slams it and points at his does the quick tap. And Kalu fills it back up. And he goes, all right. We started that off wrong. I and the Republic need your help. Colony, we've lost contact with it. We lost contact right before Vela fell. I sent out scouts to check out what had happened to it, but they weren't able to report in due to Vela's HoloNet being taken down, or the Vaughn got them, or something cripping else happened to them. But we haven't been able to hear what happened to Sayo. And we need to find out what's going on there. They're not a major colony, but there's thousands of lives on there, and we need to make sure they're protected.
Simply getting this one. Let's still prefer to prioritize civilian lives or dealing with this unknown.
Well, we need to find out what happened. That's, I'll say, priority number one. If you have to get in, get out, getting the information back would be our highest priority. But if you get there and think there is a way to help out the people on there, of course. The Republic, it's our sworn duty to make sure that the people are protected. If you can help, that's what we'd want you to do.
It's no sigh. Looks to anyone else for any to see if anyone else has any questions for the general.
The Jedi Master's in the room too, right?
Yep, Kalo's in the room too.
Garrett will look at him for a moment and then kind of peek up. What does the Force tell you in about the planet? Anything?
You see him kind of smile or frown from just a millisecond before he switches it to a smile. He goes, the Force says a great many things nowadays. I've reached out, but I've seen swirls of chaos. Kind of a little theatrical gesture. Haven't been able to confirm, but hopefully you all survivors of Vela can hopefully find something more.
Have you... I don't know what the right way to put this is. Have you tried to reach out and felt nothing in the Force where there should be something? Do you know what I mean?
I've reached out. Well, I'm a master, and I am Master Kalu. It is quite difficult to reach that far.
Fair enough. But when we were fleeing Vela and we came to your aid, did you happen to use it then to get the gist of the invaders?
Yeah, that was the most surprising thing. I've reached out. I've got a little bit of skill and just to say clouding weak-minded people, and I tried to do the same to those cursed invaders, but unfortunately, I could not feel them to work my tricks.
Okay. But you'd recognize that if you had felt it on this colony at any way, shape, or form. I guess that's what I'm trying to piece together here is we may be able to already know what happened if we can't sense it in the Force the way we normally do. Oh, I suppose I should make mention of that. I am Force sensitive. You probably could tell before I walked in the door. Full disclosure.
You guys see him nod and go, the colony, unfortunately, is much too far for my senses. But I did feel your presence in the Force. Not light, I wouldn't say dark like the Sith. More of a mauve, we'll say.
I like that. Yeah, don't use the G word. I don't like the G word. The gray. I don't even know how to spell it, first of all. Which spelling are we using? The A or the E? Yeah, but anyway, I guess, I don't know. It felt odd, and I don't normally talk about these things with other Force users. I'm usually hiding from them, but they felt weird, is all. I'm just hoping maybe you have any information on that as well. That would help.
I wish I could, but unfortunately, I've never seen something like it before. You see, kind of General Vet takes that second shot and kind of pops into the counter. He goes, "All right, we talked about the Griffin Force. You know what? You all did good work. You saved our Griffin lives on Vela. I don't like all of you." And you kind of see him look from Caesar to Dash, and he goes, "But I need you. The people of the Republic need you. If you're willing to help out, fortunately, I don't have a sizable budget. They've kind of stripped my rank of command until I report back to the Senate. But I have stored away some of my slush fund, let's say. If you guys go and check on the colony and lend its aid, I can give you 10,000 credits."
So Dash would seem like genuinely surprised by that comment. Like he like thinks that like he genuinely is like highly regarded by the general. So he would just be taken aback a little bit.
Caesar's smiling. He's got the grin, the kind of grin.
Internally, Talos is just like, at least someone cares.
Yeah.
Have you guys had any luck in capturing their ships at all?
We barely made it out alive. My ground force has been decimated. The fleet, the fifth fleet above Vela, gone. We've counted a couple of stragglers who made it out to hyperspace, but all of our heavy capital ships destroyed. Most of our support ships lost. It's a wonder we made it out. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to capture anything, and we're just trying to coordinate our response and get our outer rim presence back to where it needs to be before the invaders or Darth Dominus tries to
on the table. You put both heads on the table. You sort of need evidence when you go back. They may try and deny you in the Senate or wherever you are reporting to. Evidence. So that's why they are not decomposing. I went through the special process. They would have sat on my desk otherwise.
You see him kind of a grimace, and Master Kayla goes, "Some proof may be better than none, whatever form it may take." And Vet goes, "Thank you." And he kind of pushes it off his table into a little box nearby.
And speaking of Frith, suppose we were able to capture one of these ships. Well, it would not be guaranteed if we are prioritizing the civilian lives. It is a possibility. We capture one of these ships. What could the Republic do with such things? I I hesitate to bring up the idea of an reward, but not all of us here are Republic soldiers, so some compensation may be needed. But more so, the Republic, the ship, how can we use that against the enemy?
You see him kind of look to Kalo and goes, yeah, scientists like to study it, especially with that weird Griffin thing they do swallow with our blaster bolts. Fortunately, we're pretty tapped. We could give you after the reward we gave you all earlier. Kind of our slush funds outside of the Saiho expedition are a little bit low. If you guys bring us a ship, though, we'd be more than happy to see if we could strap on some more weapons onto your ship or some more enhancements as well. We can usually easily move around parts and make those go to worthy causes, if you know.
Perhaps throw in some favors and we'll try and do our best with such.
Well, that's something, I guess. And with that, Vars is going to take, I guess, one of the were the shots offered to us?
Oh yeah, so you guys are all offered shots.
Yeah, no, Vars will take his, throw it down because why not day drinking? go hard or go home, and take it down.
Well, oh, sorry, were you gonna say something? I heard someone talk.
So so Dash is he kind of hesitantly, like he obviously doesn't want to take this shot. He feels already terrible already. And after the general's comment, he's gonna take it quick, take the shot down. After the general finishes talking, he's actually gonna toss the glass back at him, like the shot glass back at him, and just be like, I fought the Dominion because the Republic asked me to fight the Dominion. And he's going to point at like a spot on the wall and say, I know that's not real. That damage I took because of the Republic. And he goes, I've given everything to the Republic. And he says, I just don't understand. And then he's just going to kind of to shake his head and just shrug and just walk out.
Roll a persuasion check with it. Roll a persuasion check with advantage on that one.
Is there a sadness roll?
Jeez, man.
That hit heavy. I feel like this might be an appropriate place to burn an inspiration because that is.
You had advantage. You got an 18.
Yeah, I got an 18.
Yeah, you got.
I have a -1.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
So you see as you're walking, like you see as that whole speech, like that has this kind of gruff exterior on, but as you mentioned, that you fought the Dominion because the Republic told you to fight, to come and defend its citizens, and mention the damage you took in that venture. You see that kind of like a little bit of shame actually kind of pops into his face. And he goes, hey, wait. That was too far. You've done good work. That Mustafar situation, you criffed up. But you've done good work. Everybody messes up a time and now. If you stop seeing dewbacks or whatever it was you were chasing in my field earlier and try to straighten up a bit, we can get you back where you belong.
And so Dash will kind of just nod in response and say thank you.
You see Master Kalu after that goes, well, I see all great things within the Force for all of you. You all are exceptional people. You've done what I thought was impossible in rescuing both General Vett and I, and bringing us back this information. So hopefully you can do the impossible for the people of Saiho as well. Go strong, and may the force be with you.
Thanks, I guess.
May the force be with you.
Talis is just like, this is too much for one day. Holy crap.
Why do you think you took your drink at first?
This is way too much social interaction. Where's my lab?
Perfect. So what time is it? So we're nearing closing time on the side. Not closing. Near the game, into the game session. Don't know why closing time.
Because we've been to every bar tonight.
Sweet. Oh, yeah. So is there anything else anybody wants to do today? I know you mentioned the cantina for Geert, the Tipsy Tauntaun.
Well, we're leaving this one, right?
We are.
Okay. I wanted to just, as everybody shuffles out of the room, just say something to the General and the Jedi Master. Just kind of look to them both, and I say, here's some advice. You probably don't need it, but even a General of the Republic and a Jedi Master can stand to hear it and have it refreshed from time to time. You should treat them better. They have given limb and almost their lives to do the things you ask them to, and you do not pay them well. You know you don't. You should treat them well. Treat them better. The person you piss off today might be the person that drives the knife into your back tomorrow. There's a reason you have to keep fighting the Dominion and the Sith this and the new that and everything that keeps coming up in this galaxy. Don't make the next enemy for tomorrow today. Treat them better. There's a reason I don't pick a side. Because I have yet to see anybody who has any moral fiber I can stand behind. You're only ever in it for yourself. You've got people that are willing to die for you. Treat them better. And he'll just kind of not even wait for a final word, just leave.
Kind of give me a persuasion roll on that too.
One blow after another, dang it.
I know, this just got heavy.
Yeah, right?
He meant it more as friendly advice, but at the same time, like, you really should be disappointed in yourself.
You guys couldn't do this to the Zerka director. We could have gotten an
I
entire
was thinking
news.
about his credits and all the stuff I'm going to steal from him. That's all.
We could have gotten a capital ship out of this.
Guys, I just wanted to get drunk at a bar. This is way too much.
There was Dirty Dancing out there, and then drinks and stuff, and just...
So you see the General, he kind of like gives you a nod of respect and a quiet, you're right, as you leave the room. Just kind of you see a little bit, his shame before with Dash kind of let him know about what he sacrificed for the Republic, but you do see his face kind of loses that completely loses that stoic military expression, and you kind of just see a little bit of regret and shame as he says, "You're right," and gives you that nod of respect.
Yeah, Garrett will walk out like just a little, like, yeah, damn right.
Who's left in the room now? Is it just Talis and Caesar who's not
Oh,
rocked up?
I said that as we were leaving, so I don't know.
Caesar would probably stand in the room a little longer, just his smile fading slowly, debating on whether or not he wants to throw in his 2 cents, because he's definitely like had things he's wanted to say, but they just got hit really hard, one after another, and he'll look to Vec as if is he willing to hear it now, or is it best left for another time?
I'll give you an insight roll on that one. He looks pretty ashamed right now. Probably best not to pile on too much more, or his shame may turn to anger.
God, you imagine just walking out, you're a jerk, and just
No? Wait, my brain heard inside and I clicked inside.
Oh no! I said no insight roll needed. He's ashamed right now, but if you push too hard, when people get shamed too much, they get angry just to have a response. That could kind of go for him.
In that case, Caesar will once again, because this right here, it's more clear from Caesar doing this is not like a little like jab or anything. It's like this is a sincere thing from Caesar, like something from him. Pull out the fresh bottle, give it to him, and walk out.
And you see, he still looks bewildered, but he says as sincere as he can muster. Thank you, as you're walking out.
Yeah. There, and here we go.
Perfect. So probably don't have time to do the full on for the Tipsy Tauntaun, but Garrett, if you could give them a quick run through of the mission, just so they know what it is, and then we can decide on what we guys are doing next.
You got to see how much Garrett's willing to reveal. Like, so I have my friend, and he's, we had mutual acquaintances back on Vela. He was supposed to hook me up with a job. Obviously, the job fell through, as we all know. All of our jobs kind of fell through. But he's got perhaps some information that might help us. Maybe a job, who knows? But his name's Rizzy, and he usually hangs out at the Tipsy Tauntaun. I figure, flush with credits from our Circa director, pal, might as well go get a drink, have a nightcap, and see what he has to say. If we like it, maybe we can work it in. If not, at least we got a drink,
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All for it.
Yeah.
Why not?
I'm
What's
gonna
one
sleep
more?
good tonight.
Sweet. So you guys make your way to the Tipsy Tauntaun, and just for the sake of time, I'm gonna kind of abbreviate a little bit. You see Rizzy, who is a Chandra fan, little Chandra fan, sitting in a cloak that's pretty significantly too big for him in the back of a booth within the Tipsy Tauntaun. Well, even with the big cloak, though, it's one of those things that you look at him, you look back, you look at him, you can, almost like you almost forget what he looks like if you look. He looks nondescript, even with that big cloak. It being a Charger fan, and you see him kind of sitting in the back. He does give you a little bit of a run through on what the mission would be, and basically let's know. Hey, fellas, we got a job. So we got some buddies on Kinoween. And they're out there, and they've got a cool little sensor suite, let's say. They've got some pretty advanced sensor networks, one of the best in the Outer Rim. We just want you to go out there, download some data. We've heard about, we all lost jobs on Vela. And if you can go there and download that data, we may find what those guys were, or where they came from. Those guys came from that hit Vela. And be able to kind of see where they're going next, maybe even too. Downside, we haven't heard from our buddy on Kinoween, me and Gert's buddy. We haven't been able to raise him. But if you can go there, find where our buddy is, and get that data and kind of find where those people may have come from, we got some credits we can float you, if you know what I mean.
I mean, that's just on the way, right?
The question for all of us is how many credits? Right. I mean, everybody. That's what I'm thinking.
Well, I can't tell you from personal experience. If they promise credits, they give them to you. It's not like the Huts where you got to negotiate twice for your damn paycheck.
Well, I'm interested because getting more information on this unknown force.
Oh yeah.
Is sounds pretty important to me. So.
Yeah.
Where is the planet in question?
So it's over here.
Yeah, I was just looking that up actually.
So near the bottom of the map and between I and J.
Yeah. It said it was out in wild space. I was looking all over the map. I couldn't find it. I'm like, it's nowhere over there. I didn't realize it was that close. Okay.
I think this yeah, this looks pretty good.
Are we the zero or are we the little symbol here?
Oh, so you guys,
there.
You're in Bespin, so I didn't mark Bespin. I should have marked Bespin. So you guys are
okay.
Yeah. So I got to get rid of that green one now.
And then Kinoween's that
So
one.
we would, yeah. So this is the first location, right? And then this is the second location we want to go to.
That's right.
Yeah. Hit up the colony first, then go
I
down.
mean, Mount Monfa is on the way. It is right there,
Yeah.
just sitting pretty.
Do we think if we capture a ship, if we kept on the ship, it'd grow legs and try and attack us?
Right? That's a hell of an alarm.
With the the sensor data might give us some information about the colony too.
Yeah.
If we hit there
Yeah.
first, we might actually.
With the colony,
makes
I feel like
more-
it's more of time is of the essence.
Probably.
So you guys have three different missions you can undertake. So you've got the missing colony on Saiho. You've got the Republic bounty on Manfa for the leader of the Crusaders who've recently overthrown the planet. And then you've got the data on Kinoween that's may have tracked where the invaders came from before they hit the Vela system.
I'm leaning towards data.
Hey, Rizzy, what they happen to mention what the payout is on this?
You see him go, yeah, the big bosses say they're willing to drop 14,000 credits on it. Nice thing, though, they said if you want to sell it to somebody else afterwards, it doesn't need to be exclusive, if you know what I mean.
Oh, well, there we go.
They just want you to give them a little bit of a head start with the data.
Okay. Like a week or two?
About 2 weeks, and you can spread it around after that.
Doing the calculations in his head, it's like, yeah, it's about 2 weeks travel back anyway. By the time we give it to them and get back, like, yeah, that'll work. He's like, well, we'll out of character. Like, do we have to determine now?
Oh, yes. So if you guys can determine now, because I'm actually late.
Oh,
on
right,
getting the Dungeon Jedi Master one.
Right.
Yeah. So,
My
unfortunately, it is a
personal vote?
today's decision.
My personal vote, colony, then Bro,
And what?
then the sensei.
Okay.
And then maybe, what's that, Manfa or Manfo?
Bad fuck.
Caesar does not respect the Crusaders one bit. He does not think they're going to get far. He thinks that the Mandalorians can take them down.
Yeah, but they're a long ways off from Mandalorian space.
All right, here.
Long ways off. I mean, they're right next to us.
Well, and the
space is-
Mandalorians need to come pay him a visit and make it Mandalorian space. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, tempting, right? I mean, look at all that. Look at all that space.
You're a Mandalorian and it's space. I mean, let's take a claim.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
That one way to get in good graces.
So I guess out of character, I like the colony because the colony seems to have some sense of urgency. Even though the sensor probably would help us, by the time we get the sensor, we'd probably be like, "Oh, it's gone." Like, great.
Well, we're gonna go past 2 objectives to get to the sensor first.
Yeah.
So
I mean, if we're going by distance, then Manfa comes up first.
And we may be able to get a ship just from doing all the other stuff, because I highly doubt they're not gonna have some presence in the area.
Yeah.
well, we don't want to be dragging around that ship with us when we're
No.
going to other objectives. If we get a
Correct.
ship, we're gonna want to head directly back, regardless of what objectives remain.
Right. So maybe play that one by ear. If it happens, we deviate for it, kind of a thing.
So colony
Is
first.
there-
Colony.
Yeah, I would say colony first. But the thing about the ships, I'm guessing there's a Zerka presence in other places. So I don't know if we need to necessarily bring the ship, back.
Definitely, most major industrial ports, so if you went to Omanfanat, so you could find definitely pretty easily either in Dominion Republic space another Zerka port to drop it off of too.
Now, I'm going to bring this up.
Hmm?
If we capture this ship, what if we made it ours? No, I'm not saying
Um,
that's all too possible, but hypothetically, that could allow us to split the party, grab the sensor real fast, and start heading towards the Crusaders.
So you want to take an alien ship and split the party?
Listen, I'm not the best for these kind of
I wasn't
decisions.
gonna say.
I just go with what sounds cool.
The human part of me really wants to see that in action because of oh man.
Dash
Uh,
wants to stay on the Novacana when we split the party.
Me too.
Yeah, 100%.
Dallas will be staying with the Nova.
yeah, yeah.
I've gotta fly it,
Familiar
so.
ship is best ship.
Caesar, you can fly the alien ship.
The
Yo,
snake
you can
fly-
fly.
Captain Caesar. Captain
Yo,
Would it be
you can fly the
piloting or
rock.
would it be animal handling? This is important.
I think that'll be another play by ear.
Perfect.
So colony first.
Colony
Yeah.
first.
I think I've been overruled.
Wait, what were you going for?
Sensor.
Sensor
Oh, the
first.
sensor.
Yeah, but again, like, I don't own a ship, so
Where is the sensor located compared to the colony?
oh, it's way out.
Yeah, it's way on the
Okay.
edge. Yeah.
If we went by proximity, that'd be the last one we do.
Travel distance wise, like time, how long it takes. Like, what are we talking about from here to Manfa to the other places? Like, would we have an
Manfa,
idea?
because you guys are able to do just a standard hyperspace jump this time and not be delayed. Getting to Manfa would take you about 3 days. Getting to Saiho, because you have to get up off the hyperspace lane, would take you about 6 days. Kenowayne's pretty far off the hyperspace trail. That would take you about 12 days.
Okay.
That probe would not help us with the colony in the slightest.
Yeah,
That's almost a month, like to and fro.
yeah.
So
Yeah, a couple of
thinking
weeks,
colony
yeah.
then for sure first.
Maybe we can
Yeah.
learn to think about it while we're there. Who knows?
Perfect.
If the Vong are filled with enough hubris to talk about their plans, and maybe right, like, they have no chance of stopping our invasion, which we're starting at this spot over here. Yeah, help, right?
The full invasion force is coming over here.
Word so easy.
Well, as they're discussing it, Garrett will slap down some credits for the drinks for everybody, including Rizzy.
Wow.
Well, you guys could, after successfully concluding all of your business for the day, you guys could drink and be responsible about drinking because you don't have any more meetings to go to.
Now we're responsible.
And we'll wrap up today. So next session will be the first of the Saiho Colony adventure, and we'll kick it. Actually, so unfortunately it'll be a little bit before next session. Because unfortunately we will have the session on the 11th, but we come back. I don't know what the date of that will be. We'll pick up for the Saiho adventure and get it going there. So thanks everybody for joining us there. If you're not already follow the channel, drop a follow, and we'll see you on next Tuesday with Power Rangers. So see you guys then.
I need to get my boy Howard set up.
So